You are now watching the Prep Sports.
Nobody will touch sight.
So that's a heck of a opportunity for them. So I want them to be able to see and project where they're trying to take themselves.
And it's going to be Sadler. He's going to take off. And they'll never get it. Boy up the middle. Touchdown, technician. It's not if, it's when he's going to go off. Ball at the 5. Makes a move. Touchdown, technician. Crusader in the gun. In trouble, and he goes down. At the 5, touchdown, C.J. Sadler. And this game's an extra point away from being all knotted up. $80 degrees and a beautiful night on the west side of the state in Rockford. Beautiful suburb of Grand Rapids hosts the best game in the state of Michigan on opening night 2024. Glad to have it with you on Prime Time Live right here on the Prep. He is Sam Stickday. My name's Chad Bush. Kennedy Broadwell will be alongside shortly. We've got Rockford bringing in Cass Tech, the technicians, the champions of the Public School League from a year ago, against Rockford, who's won 5 straight OK Red titles. Stick, we've got a banger on the west side of the state here tonight.
You know, I often talk about how college football doesn't really get me going because the matchups take so long to get the good teams to play each other. Not in the state of Michigan and not in high school football, because this matchup between Rockford, the powerhouse from the west, versus Cass Tech, the powerhouse from the east, is going to be so fun to watch tonight. Just a battle of styles, a battle of athletes, and a battle of winners.
Let's start first with Marvin Rushing's club. Yeah. Marvin Rushing in his 3rd year brings in his most talented club. Reminds a lot of Cass Tech folks of the 2011-2012 back-to-back championship teams. This is talent up and down the roster, including that defensive backfield with 4 Power 5 starters.
Yeah, and not only the defensive backfield, you know, they have a bunch of tools on offense, but the biggest thing when we were talking to the coaches is the senior leadership that's on this team. In the past, they've had talented teams, but that maturity level that Cass Tech brings this year, is they are hoping that's what's going to be to push them over the top all the way to the Ford Field.
Meanwhile, Rockford and head coach Brent Cummings, they bring in a club that they feel really good about, a great offensive line, a new quarterback. But this is a tradition here, and the tradition really never dies. Rockford's got it rolling.
Yeah, when you say Rockford's feeling good, they're always feeling good. 5 years in a row, champions, they're feeling good. But they have some things to overcome in this game one. Their starting middle linebacker, coach's son, Sam, he is out, and there's some big shoes to fill there. 105 tackles, I believe. Yeah. The sophomore now stepping in. His name is Logan Hagland. He's going to have a big game today. He has to have a big game today if they want to contain the guys from Cass Tech.
Expected to have a crowd of 10,000 on hand tonight. Woo! On the west side of the state. We open up in grand fashion near Grand Rapids. We're the Prep, and we're here to bring you the best game in the state of Michigan. Thanks so much for watching. We're back with much more as the pregame rolls on from Rockford. First, life gives us many. From buying your first car or first home to starting a business, Alliance Catholic Credit Union is here for you every step of the way. From checking and savings accounts and youth accounts to auto loans, mortgages, business needs, and financial planning. A full-service financial institution with over 70 years of experience. We're committed to serving your firsts, seconds, 50ths, and every day in between. Alliance Catholic Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Chad and Stick back with you. Kennedy Broadwell will join us shortly from the field. Glad you're with us in Rockford. It's Cass Tech on the road, 2.5 hours from the Motor D. They left early this morning. They came up, they went to Grand Valley State, had a nice walkthrough this afternoon. A good tie with Grand Valley, Stick. They've got players going there. They've got players already there. They're feeling good, but they're going to go up against a tough opponent. They're going to rely on a guy that they relied on the last 2 years. Tell us who the impact player is for the Technicians.
For the Technicians, it's the guy the last 2 years that you're talking about. That's one guy, Corey Sadler. When he was a freshman and got on the field, he just did things special. You know, he's tough to get an angle on. He's one of those guys that just has an extra gear, so he's tough to get down, and he's so strong. I mean, we call him on the basketball court, too, as a point guard. Tough to knock off the ball. He's got great body control, and just overall, I believe he's one of the top-rated athletes in the entire country, let alone the state.
Yeah, 4-star, several high major offers. Meanwhile, on the other side of the football, a guy that we'll see behind center, Stick. What should we expect out of Daniels?
You know, that's kind of what's got to be seen tonight is what Braden Daniels going to do. He had 2 starts last year, so he does have a little bit of experience under his belt. He started at JV. He's a really smart player, and he loves to use his legs. He can run. He can move. He can shift the pocket, and that's something that it's going to be interesting to see how the offensive coordinator for Rockford uses him.
We're going to have Kennedy Broadwell's Field Side Report when we roll on the Preps Pregame Show. Primetime Live, one of 2 games happening. We got Dearborn and Catholic Central going on as well. Give them a look. We're back to Rockford right after these.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut. Your Catholic faith, it's at the core of who you are, what you do, and the decisions you make. At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we make your faith and finances work together. From home needs to business needs, from school to retirement, we've got the financial well-being of our Catholic community covered. Visit us today and see how your faith and finances can work together. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
What's their command? Oh,
Welcome back, Chad and Stick with you. We also have a third member of our crew, Kennedy Broadwell. Kennedy's standing by with a report. Kennedy, take it away.
Hi, you guys. I'm so excited that this is the way we're kicking off our high school football season. 2 teams with big expectations for this year. Rockford, obviously dominant in the west side of the state for the past 10 years or so, really. But now we've got Cass Tech, who's thinking that this is their best roster since they had those back-to-back state championships that you mentioned earlier. Alongside them on that squad is a guy that's going to help them do that in Alex Graham. He's going to be on both sides of the ball tonight. He's going to be playing wide receiver and defensive back. That's where he really shines. He's a 4-star recruit headed to Colorado to go play under Deion Sanders, of all people. Unfortunately for Rockford, while Cass Tech is going to have that advantage, Rockford is going to be at a slight disadvantage. They're missing their head coach Cummings' son, who was their leading tackler as a sophomore. He's missing his junior year due to an ACL tear. The silver lining, if there is one, is the fact that he's torn that ACL before and he knows how to rehab that. Chad?
All right, great stuff, Kennedy. Awesome report. Alex Graham back. Really the biggest part of that report. Alex Graham left, went to IMG. He returns. How excited is Cass Tech to get Alex Graham back?
I mean, you got to be. Anytime you can get an athlete like that. And, it's one of those stories where it's kind of cool. When you return home, you kind of get that feeling of peace, and you kind of get that feeling of this is where I belong, and that's kind of what happens here at Cass Tech. And they added themselves a player in the offseason, that's for sure.
Yeah, Graham comes back, also a track star, and as Kennedy mentioned, part of this talented Cass Tech crew, as we have the captains coming out. Last year, Cass Tech 7-4 under Marvin Rushing, a 93 grad of the Technicians himself. But it's a Cass Tech team that you look at the roster this year, you have no really apprehension to say and go on a limb. This is a double-digit win team or else. I mean, they really seem like this is the year they're built. A lot of talent. The quarterback situation, it's been a mystery. Who do we see, and what should we expect from the two guys that we may see?
I mean, it may be three guys, right? Because you got to throw Corey Sadler in that mix. And then, of course, you have Sendry. He's the guy that we saw last year. He's the senior, 5'11", 170. We've seen him control ball games. We've seen him win big ball games. And then you get the freshman, kind of the wild card. His name is Donald Tabron. He's coming in, he's coming in 6'3", tall kid, 172, lanky kid, and it's going to be interesting to see who they choose to go with, especially here on the road, as you mentioned, in front of 10,000 fans. Do you go with the senior or do you go with the freshman?
We are set for kickoff. Cass Tech to send it left to right under the leg of the talented George Sanchez Murillo, and back deep for Rockford is their return man, number 24, Kobe Belcher. It's Isaac Poot, back on this sunshine-and 80-degree night. Football 2024 on the prep is just about to get underway. Glad you're with us on our YouTube channel. Sanchez Murillo kicks it high and short. It's a pooch, and it's going to go out of bounds.
It is a tough way to start the season. That's not how they coached it in the offseason. But, man, look at that sea of people on the Rockford sideline. That student section got to be one of the biggest we've ever seen.
10,000 fans expected in the house. They are riled up in Rockford. When we got here at 4 o'clock, I mean, this place was just a jumping. That is the quarterback, the first-year quarterback by the name of Braden Daniels. And he's a guy that JV quarterbacked him last year, came up for a couple game stick. But it's an offense that we're going to see a whole bunch of angles, an offense that put up 40 points a game under Jason Vanderlaan, who's a legend in these parts, 2 Harlan Hill trophies at Fair State. But we're going to see spread offense basically in summarizing this.
Yeah, and that's what you think west side of Michigan, you think big, powerful football. But these guys can spread it out, and they got the athletes to play with anybody. So Cass Tech, I'm sure they've seen the tape. We'll see what they can do.
So here we go in the gun. It's the quarterback, Braden Daniels. The give up the middle to Madden Warner, and Warner's not going very far. Give him maybe a yard and a half, as we'll meet the offense for Rockford, the Rams, 11-1 a year ago. A team that lost in the 3rd round, as we see the front. Papis is the center, Dawson, LaPlante, Panchula, Maxon, and Miller. And a 2nd down and long. Handoff up the middle and nothing doing. Maybe a yard. It'll set up 3rd and long. So 2 run plays. The Cass Tech D-line is stout. And how about the front up there, led by Logan Howell?
Yeah, you see big number 56 right there, anchor in the center for Cass Tech, and it's tough to move him off that ball. In 2 plays in a row, he's just stuffed the run.
There you see Warner, the running back, to Kuiper Curry, and Pitch, the 6'7" wide receiver. 3rd down and 7. And we've got a offsides. That'll give them 5 yards. And this is what Rockford does have, a disciplined system. And they've got guys that are veterans in this front offensive line that they trust to do things like this.
Yeah, and it's first game jitters. You want to get off the ball. You want to make that play. You like the aggressiveness, but you got to tone it back because it just cost your team 5 yards on the road.
Makes it a manageable 3rd and 2. First drive just underway. 3 to the left, 1 to the right for the junior quarterback Daniels. Handoff up the middle, and it's enough for a first down. He needed 2. He got 5. That's Warner. Move the chains.
Yeah, and I like that call by Rockford. You can kind of tell that they're just feeling out the defense. 2 straight runs up the middle. Then this time, let the lead blocker go first and send the quarterback after him and get an extra body in there.
Yeah, it was the quarterback, Braden Daniels. Flare pass left side, caught, but it's a short gain. The catch was made by number 4. That's Riley Wells. Call it a gain of 1. 2nd down and long for this Cass Tech defense.
Yeah, that was a good catch. I mean, it was only for 1 yard, but it was a nice little diving catch there on the sideline.
There you see the defensive line for Cass Tech. A couple of talented ends in Baker and Polk. Logan Howell, really the run stuffer there in the middle, who's been active already in this game. 2nd down and 9 from the 44-yard line. 49-yard line. Back to pass. Daniels has time. Looking over the middle. Got a man caught inside the 10. Down to the 6-yard line. All alone in space, and a grab by Riley Wells, who got loose in the back end. Blown coverage by Cass Tech. And the Rams are rocking on the door in the opening series.
Well, if we were wondering about the poise of Braden Daniels, you saw it on that play, beating down on him right before the pressure gets there. He knows he's going to take a hit from the big man and still delivers the deep ball to perfection.
49 yards, the reception, and it's got the Rams down to the 6.
I thought the scouting report on this quarterback was he didn't have a super strong arm. He just launched it 49 yards.
He looked good there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Motion left to right, the give. And the ball's loose, and Cass Tech has it. The technicians force a fumble. A little exchange issue. And the inexperience at quarterback might have cost them. Derek Jackson III with a recovery. And the Kent State Golden Flash turns things around in a hurry.
Oh, that is exactly what Cass Tech needed, and that's what their program is. They just took a punch to the mouth, and what they do, they gave it right back, stripped the ball. A great hit by number 2, Samarow, there to get that ball out.
Wow, what a hit that caused it. Look at the hit. And that's what this Cass Tech defense has behind them. Playmakers.
You see Logan Howell taking a knee right there. Big man's exhausted. He put it all out there on that first drive. And now we get a look at the Cass Tech offense, Chad.
We do, and it is Seth Sendry in at quarterback. There was some thoughts and who was going to play quarterback position. They've got a 3 or 4-headed monster. The handoff up the middle is to it's number 22, Damari Hendricks.
Yeah, we saw Hendricks a little bit last year, too. They didn't use him a ton, but we saw him get shifty in a couple of games.
He's a squatty guy, highly touted. He got injured in the game we did last year against New Jersey, Montvale, St. Joseph's. So, gain of a few.
Yes, sir.
2nd and 7. 2 to the right. Slot, caught, right side, on his feet to the 10. He didn't get to the 11. It's a gain of 2. It'll set up 3rd and mid. With 8:49 to go, catch is made by number 15, Victor Polk.
Yeah, I'm worried about that tackle in space, though, by number 39, Andrew Hamilton. I mean, that is a tough play because Cass Tech got what they wanted. They got the one-on-one in space. He just couldn't make that play because 39 was there with those sticky hands.
Yes, sir. That was Brian Stovall Jr., actually, the H-back. So 3rd and mid. We'll see if Cass Tech doesn't do an old hard count here. Seth Sendry still in the game at quarterback. Looking left side, hitch route, caught. And it's close to the first down marker. Does he have it? They have not motioned. And now they have first down, Cass Tech. They convert on a 3rd and 5, and this was a good find from Sendy.
And that looks like something that Cass Tech could do all day. I mean, he just sat down in the middle of that zone, wide open, caught the ball at the first down marker. That's a great route because he ran to the first down marker. He wasn't short. He didn't have to get any extra yards. Caught the ball, fall down, first down.
That's Jalen Howell, I believe, with a catch. Boy, it's hard to see. We've got sunlight right in our eyes.
It's going to be a beautiful sunset, though, Chad.
Oh, my goodness. Hendricks is knocked on his fanny, and he's knocked by his polling tackle, Khalif Canty Jr. 6'5", 308, a little friendly fire. Takes the technicians out of that one. It's a loss of 3. And boy, is that unfortunate for the green guys.
Yeah, just just one of those things that happens. One guy running into another, not proper spacing. But, man, if I'm the defensive coach, I'm seeing that guy doesn't even have to tackle people. He just runs into them.
There's the offensive line. You got Walker, Copeland, Gooden, Wilson, and Canty, the aforementioned tackle, Power 5 prospect who collided with Hendricks. Quick pass, right side low, good catch, and a better conversion by Rockford. Got just a couple of yards. The catch was made by Sadler, but the conversion was quick from the safety, and the tackle's made by Luke Ahern.
And that's the first time we've seen Corey Sadler involved in the offense, and that's kind of been the go-to for Cass Tech over the past 3 years. Whenever anything's bogging down, just get it in that guy's hands and let him produce. That time, a great job by Rockford closing in 3 men, taking him down.
Ahern slipped through the big tackle. So, 2nd down and long. Oh, we've got a personal foul on Cass Tech. And how about that? It's going to drive them back. Let's meet the backs and receivers. Jalen Howell, along with Will Sykes, Alex Graham, and Damari Hendricks, the tailback for Cass Tech. So Cass will be backed up. It'll be a 3rd and 19 now after the penalty, all the way back to the 8.
Yeah, Cass Tech with 2 costly penalties early in this game. One right there, and then a little jump off sides early on defense, which allowed Rockford to get their first down. So showing a little bit of lack of discipline here early in the game.
A big play by Rockford, a 49-yard pass play that was stuffed with the next play being a forced fumble. And now Cass in a 3rd and long. Handoff left side, and not much doing there. The give was to Jalen Howell around end. Nothing doing. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Tackled by number 2. That's Corbin Starkey, the senior nose guard.
And almost looked like he didn't want to hand that ball off. See the jerky action when the running back ran by? That was a not very clean handoff, which leads to an easy stop for Rockford.
So, a chance for great field position now is George Sanchez Murillo. Cassius Shivers will snap it back deep for Rockford. Is their return man, number 34, Isaac Poot, the safety. We'll see if Rockford puts some pressure here. They do. They get through, and it's blocked. It's blocked. Out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Wide open hole. Could have drove a truck through the hole, and he blocked it out of bounds at the 10. 1st and goal, Rockford, who's right back inside that 10-yard line.
And that's how it goes, Chad. We talk about the defense. We talk about the offense. The one thing we leave out is special teams, and they have made 2 big plays right there for Rockford. Ryan Carey getting through and causing that. I don't think he even blocked it. I think he just intimidated the punter enough to where he kicked it off the side of his foot. But you're seeing the kickoff goes out of bounds. Rockford gets good field position. They're a bad punt. Rockford gets good field position. Special teams, a problem so far for Cass Tech.
Special teams, a storyline, especially in opening week games. Something we talked offline about endlessly, and we're seeing it already.
It's the 3rd part of the team, man.
Daniel's going to carry it himself, tries the middle, has a few, powers forward down to the 2-yard line.
And that's where Rockford's been successful, sending that lead back through first and letting Daniels follow him through. On that time, you got to give it up to the big fellas up front, number 69 and number 50.
Panchula, LaPlante, drilling a hole up front. It's not an easy front to get through for Cass Tech.
No, and we know Cass Tech defense. What was the word the coach kept using over and over? They like to play violent.
Yes.
So it's tough to get through those big fellas.
Yes, sir. Handoff left side in the backfield, and he's stuffed. Oh, a back party. How about it? Coming in, number 3, Derek Jackson. Along with Cassius Shivers, they had the safety shooting up the gaps, and it paid off. 3rd and goal.
I know the quarterback's wishing he would have kept this play action rolling, because if he would have rolled to the outside, there was absolutely nobody left.
There you see Marcus Jennings, Braylon Ray, and Cameron Summerhour, the fine linebackers. Shivers, Jackson, Graham, and Wilcox in the back end. 3rd down, play action. Daniels rolling right. Looking in the end zone. Got a man. Caught. Touchdown. And it's his talented tight end, Blake Lindsley. And Lindsley scores the first points of 2024 for the Rams.
Well, you could see that play action was going to be valuable on the play before, and then they do it again, leaving poor number 7, Alex Graham, who just got back, in no man's land. He had to guard 2 men out there. Watch number 7 for Cass Tech. He's trying to guard 2 men, 88, wide open, just way too late.
Fine play action, and in the end zone. With 4:14 to go in the first, the game's first points. And Aaron Papis will snap it. Jack Ahonen, the kicker, and that is good. So with 4:14 to go in the first quarter, we'll step aside from Rockford. It's 7-0 Rams as we come back on the primetime matchup here on the Prep. The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move. And it's out of here.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
So a Braden Daniels touchdown pass to Blake Lindsley, the Division I prospect tight end. A 6-yard touchdown pass stick, and here we are after the extra point. 7-0 Rockford, a team that has not lost here at home since 2018. That kickoff will force Cass Tech to start at their own 25.
Yeah, and you can tell why Rockford, I mean, they're a solid team all the way around so far, what we've seen from them. Offense, defense, and special teams. And, you know, the one question mark coming in was the quarterback play, but we've seen him make some big plays. We just saw him on a play-action pass make the correct read. So the young quarterback's doing well for Rockford.
Yes, sir. It was a drive that lasted just 1 minute and 1 second. And a 3-play drive, 8 yards, and in the end zone touchdown, Lindsley from Daniels. 7-0 Rockford. Seth Sendry out at quarterback. 4 wide receivers, double tight. Left side, got a man, caught, left sideline. And that's the top offensive play so far for Cass Tech. It's a gain of 8 and a fine play and toss to the outside. And that's number 8, Jalen Howell, the H-back.
Yeah, and a good job by the offensive line blocking that. Rockford brought the blitz from the left side. They brought 2 guys, and Cass Tech was able to pick that up no problem, having wide open wide receivers down the field.
So Sendry has been the quarterback all the way. We do expect to potentially see the freshman Donald Tabron, highly, highly touted. Of course, Corey Sadler, always a potential to slip in there and sneak in as a QB, but they want to keep him out in space. There's a handoff up the middle, nowhere to go. Stuffed behind the line. The Rams were on it. They tried that left side, but nothing was home. That's the reserve running back.
They're doing the RPO a lot.
Carson Lovett.
It's just looking like Sendry's making the slow read on that because that was not the right handoff to make. I mean, that whole side was collapsed by the defensive line of Rockford. We haven't heard Corey Sadler's name enough in this game so far, Chad.
Nope, he is out to the near side, wide right. Watch him here. It's a 3rd down and 3 with 3:30 to go. The threes are wild, 7-0 Rockford. Sendry back to pass, got a man, caught. It is that man, C.J. Sadler, and he's caught right at the first down marker. Move those chains. The technicians have converted on back-to-back 3rd downs and mid.
Yeah, and that was a nice short pass to Corey Sadler there, and I believe they weren't playing any safety high on that and had single coverage with him outside, so that's something that Cass Tech will probably exploit later on in this game, maybe with a deep ball to Corey.
We have a score update down in Dearborn. Of course, we have another game going on. Evan Stockton and Ben Holden on the call. It's Catholic Central 14 and Dearborn 6. Catholic Central is on the drive looking to add more with 4:30 left to go in the first. Right here, it's 1st and 10. Sendry on a botch play, going to get taken down at the 25. It's a loss of 6. And that one didn't look right from the start, Stick. What happened there?
Sendry was looking to his left and the center hiked the ball. He wasn't even paying attention. Look, he looks to his left, checking his wide receiver, and lucky to hold on to that ball. That would have been another fumble inside the red zone.
Sendry just not on the same page there with his center, Jelani Walker, the junior, at 5'11", 265. It's a great offensive line. As you look at the D-line that they'll go against, Braylon Ray, Corbin Starkey, and Thatcher Wilson up front. It's more of a smaller, quicker defensive line against a bigger offensive line of Cass Tech. We'll see how that works out. 2nd and long now. And another snap that he wasn't ready for. Back left side, caught, nowhere to go. And miscommunication with a snap in the quarterback early. Alex Graham caught it. He got a few, but it's 3rd and long.
I'm just trying to find Coach Rushing on the sidelines because, you know, this type of football is not the type of football that he coaches. And, you know, they did not spend all offseason with this many mental mistakes being planned. So as a fiery of a guy he is, I'm watching him on the sideline walk up and down right now.
It's an outstanding offensive line, well coached by the associate head coach Dave Dawson, former All-American at Cass Tech. It was a pleasure talking with him this week. Very helpful. Left hash, 3rd and 15. 70 seconds left in the opening quarter. Sendry with all kinds of time. Throws the wheel route. Right side. Dropped at the 49. A beautiful ball that was dropped on a flag route. Jalen Howell had it and couldn't hang up.
Yeah, you're just thinking maybe if he pushes that a little bit further up the sideline and leads him a little bit, he can get underneath it. There you see a look. He's got to kind of come back to the ball and catch it over his left shoulder. If that's over his left shoulder as he's running, that's a completion.
Yep.
And then don't forget, Chad, we're looking straight up into the sun.
We are. That's fair. George Sanchez Murillo's back. Cassius Shivers to snap it. It was blocked last time, and that resulted in the touchdown. Back deep again is the punt returner Isaac Poot. Long snap waiting from the 26 back to the 15. All kinds of time, and it's a good one. Fair catch called for at the 42, and that's where the Rams will take over, leading 7-0. We'll step aside. We're back in 30 seconds. Thanks for watching here on The Prep. We're back in a moment.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Welcome back to the action. Daniels wants to go up top again. Got a man caught. Right sideline. 20-15 out of bounds. Another drop back throw down, and this time wide open. It's Gavin Curry out of bounds near the 10. Rockford got him twice.
Yeah, another play action pass. You see everybody bite on the play action. And we talked about the quarterback for Rockford being mobile. They were able to move the pocket with him on the play action and bomb it deep. The big number, 0.
Will Coxon in coverage. It's a 42-yard pass play. They've had 2 40-plus yard pass plays in this game already against what might be the best secondary in the state. Trying up the middle and nowhere to eat there. Howell says, not here, not now. He's angry and violent and excited about that stop. We'll see if that can spur this Cass Tech defense.
And you took the words right out of my mouth. I think that's what he's trying to do as a leader. Like, let's go, guys. We did not practice all offseason. We did not sweat to come out to Rockford to perform like this. We're better than this.
Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. 7-0 Rockford at the end of the first quarter. We're coming back with the second quarter in 30 seconds with Kennedy Broadwell. Back after these.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Let's go down to the field to Kennedy Broadwell with our sideline report. Kennedy.
Yeah, you guys, you talked a lot about the Cass Tech quarterback situation. We saw Sedri there in the first quarter. A little rocky. I mean, can we talk about that Rockford quarterback? That's what Cass Tech wants to see with these players. But luckily, they've got options at quarterback. We're calling it a 3-headed monster. It might be a 4-headed monster. I've heard you guys talk about it. They've got options between Donald Tabron. I'm hoping we see him today. He's a freshman, but he's not just any freshman. He's the top-rated freshman in this entire state. So will we see him? I'm not sure, but I kind of hope we get a peek. They also have, obviously, Seth Sedri, who split snaps last year with C.J. Sadler, who we've been seeing at receiver. And then there's a third, fourth option that maybe hasn't been spoken about a whole lot, and that's Davion Reese. But I'm hoping for a little C.J. Sadler action as a little trick play. What do you think, Chad?
I'd love to see it. I think it's coming. And what a wealth of riches at one position for Cass Tech. But right now, it's Rockford on the run, and they feel good. They're going to try the left side. This is Poot. Poot outside the numbers at the 10. And it's a gain of about 3 yards on first down into the shadows of the far stadium here at Rocking Carlson Munger Stadium.
Yeah, and that's going to be a tough go for Rockford if they're trying to beat Cass Tech to the edge. It's really tough to beat those guys to the edge. They practice it. They got the athletes to beat you there. So they've been doing a good job going up the middle with the lead blocker, and then every once in a while pulling that play action.
There is a hanky on the field, and Marvin Rushing is out there. And I believe this is going to be against Rockford.
Chop block.
15 yards.
Personal foul.
Marvin Rushing looking sugar sharp with that white shirt, black tie. Proud Cass Tech technician head coach.
One of the best interviews there's ever been. That guy's.
You love his line that he had after.
I just love his energy. Like, that one line's great, but outside of that, just the energy he brings. Like, he's the type of coach that I want to be in that locker room, right? He can talk you to run through a wall for him.
Yes, sir. So penalties have plagued Cass Tech in this game, but that's a big one for Rockford. That'll set them back. 2nd and 26, just underway, second quarter. 7-0 the Rams of Rockford. 5-time straight champions of the OK Red. And down goes Daniels under the wrath and the rip of Fernandez. Anthony Foster also in there, but it's that Cass front just tearing up trouble.
Yeah, look at that. Number 9 falls on him, but it was big number 44 that got in there and disrupted the entire play. So we got to show love to the big fella, Anthony Foster. And that doesn't look like he's listed as the big fella.
No. John Baker, the 4th. The last guy to get in there. Pat the Stat said so. There is a center screen set up beautifully. A little dump that's going to go for a few. That's Michael DeKuyper the senior slot man, and it does get them back into respectability. And it'll set up a field goal opportunity for the Rams.
Yeah, that's one of those caution plays. You know what? We don't want to give it to the defense. And if this breaks, awesome. If not, let's get a couple yards and make the field goal more makeable.
It'll be a 37-yard field goal attempt. It'll be snapped by Aaron Papis. It'll be held by Scalzo. And the kick attempt by Jack Ahonen is up, and it is good.
With the 37-yard field goal.
37-yard field goal is good by Jack Ahonen. And Rockford adds to their lead. It's a double-digit lead. It's 10-0. We'll step aside. We're back in 17 seconds for the prep.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
So a 37-yard field goal by Ahonen. It adds to the lead. And Rockford up 10-0 stick. Your thoughts?
They've just come out and played a well-coached game in all facets. Their defense looks strong. The offense looks to have a lot of motion, a lot of strength to it, making big plays. And the special teams has made 3 big plays. One made field goal, a blocked punt, and, well, I guess they didn't make the kick out of bounds, but they had a big play on special teams starting at the 40.
Rockford has had some production, especially in the air. Both teams efficient in this game. Rockford 5 of 5, though, in the contest. And very efficient, especially that center screen.
Will Sykes on the return.
Sykes on the return. He gets just to the 20-yard line. And here comes this Cass Tech offense, their third series stick. What would you like to see for the technicians to try on this third series?
Well, not shoot yourself in the foot would be kind of the first thing I would say. You know, make sure their quarterback's watching the ball come out of the center. But outside of that, if we're talking about play calling, you don't know. The play calling could be good, but if you can't get the play off, it doesn't matter what the OC's calling.
Yep, it's been a mixture of miscommunication between the center and quarterback a little bit, and some penalties that have put them behind the sticks. Penalties have been a bit of a theme in this game, and the blocked punt, a part of it as well. So, possession time about even, 7 minutes for Cass Tech and 5:16. So now we'll get a look at the freshman Tabron who's in, and this is Hendricks, the sophomore. This is the youth movement on first down, and it's the most productive offensive play, a gain of 9, as quarterback Donald Tabron checks into the lineup for Cass Tech, a new quarterback now in there.
Well, you asked what they needed to see, and I told you it was the center quarterback exchange, so how do you fix that? You bring in a new quarterback.
That's it. Hendricks with a nice gain, solid blocking on that left side as well.
And you hope what this does, too, is kind of throw Rockford off. You know, I know they've game planned for all these guys because Cass Tech didn't really name their starter, but starting out with one guy and then doing a change of pace, you hope it just gives energy to your team if you're Cass Tech.
Yep. And also maybe gives a message to Sendry, hey, you know, we got to sharpen up that exchange. Maybe it's not all his fault, but something we got to figure out. Hendricks again, why not? They'll try him up the middle. He does get the first down. He needed just 1. He got 3, moved the chains. Technicians might have something here.
And you know what? I like that play call. Second and short. Let's just get the first down. We don't have to use this to go for the home run ball. Let's establish some offense here, keep the clock rolling, and really get some things working against this stiff Rockford defense who they've been impressive in every facet of the game so far, Chad.
Here's the linebackers, Friesen, Hagelin, Carey, and Hamilton. Hagelin with a big responsibility in for the injured Samuel Cummings, the leading tackler from a year ago. Wells, Ahern, Poot, and LeBlanc on the back end for Rockford. It's a solid back end and very senior-led Isaac Poot, one of the best back there. Cass Tech with a 1st and 10 with 8:30 to go from their own 32. Tabron, the freshman, about to throw his first high school pass, and it's a little bit offline and too short and wide for his wide receiver. That's Jalen Howell.
Yeah, and the Cass Tech coach kind of giving it to him, you know, early, try to get him in the offense, run a 1 yard out, and unfortunately, little off base there. But what was interesting is Rockford had all 11 of their players within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. They are up and tight against Cass Tech right now.
Begging the rookie to throw the ball.
Yeah, and, you know, that's the chess move you're playing. Okay, you're going to bring in your freshman. All right, defense, we're rushing the run, you know.
It's a 5-2 defense for Rockford, and it's a defense that's led by their prize defensive coordinator, Randy Vanderveen, in his 26th year. Multiple sets and angles, a lot of new D-line starters for Rockford. It's a 5-2 look. Tabron dumps it right side. It's caught. That's number 16. That's Brian Stovall, the H-back. And the 6'2 junior's out of bounds, but not before a healthy gain of 5.
But once again, another good play call for a young quarterback. Just nice and easy, roll out, kind of one read pass. Get him in the rhythm, then you can start opening him up a little bit.
So the first completion of his career, a guy that's already been offered by Michigan, Donald Tabron. And a third down here. Cass has been quite efficient on third downs today. 2 of 4, but they've converted their last 2. We'll see what Tabron can do now.
Dropping Corey Sadler down here at the bottom of your screen. Single coverage.
Might be a guy you want to look for. They do. Now they look over the middle, and it's intercepted! Picked off over the middle into the hands of Logan Hagland. He'll go all the way! Touchdown Rams! Hagland, who was in there for the returning leading tackler, Samuel Cummings, steps in and picks it the other way. And the Rams have a offense and defensive touchdown, and they're up 17-0.
What a morale boost for a young player. You know, you got to step in for the team's leading tackler. The pressure's on you. You know people are watching you. And what do? You pick 6 the freshman quarterback that's ranked number 1 in the state and take it back in your own house. That's a Disney storyline, Chad.
42-yard interception return for a touchdown with 7:22 left. Extra point by Jack Ahonen is up, and it is good. So the Rams add one on from the other side of the football, and they rattle the rookie into 7 and a pick 6. We're coming back to Rockford in a moment. We're the Prep. Thanks so much for watching on this Thursday evening.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
The senior Logan Hagland has waited his turn. He didn't want it to come this way. His teammate Sam Cummings, the son of the head coach, went down with an ACL blowout last week in a scrimmage. Hagland got the call in practice this week, and the senior steps up with a 42-yard interception return for a touchdown against the number 2 team in the state. Rockford's looking pretty rock steady at home right now.
Yeah, I mean, in front of their hometown fans, showing what they can do. And you know, that old saying, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have 1 quarterback, and that's kind of what's going on right now for Cass Tech.
Graham on the return across the 26. A late flag comes out.
So if you're Cass Tech, do you think about putting Corey Sadler back at quarterback? I mean, that's what got you so far last year.
Yeah.
You know he can handle the offense. He can kind of simmer things down. He's the best athlete on the field. You get the ball in his hands every play.
I think you need something, and you don't need necessarily a grand slam here, but you need to interject something that you know is going to – and Corey Sadler interjects some excitement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
get the ball in his hands.
playability that can get you a couple
Well, and he knows the offense, right? So maybe he does get you back in the game, but there you get a nice look at the sea of people. Rockford's finest.
10,000 deep on this jumping Thursday opening humid hot night in beautiful Rockford, Michigan. A face mask on the return, so that will give Cass an even worse starting field position. And penalties have been a problem. in this ball game. I mean, we got our penalty count, guys.
Penalties have been an issue. Quarterback exchange has been an issue. Kicking has been an issue. There's been a lot of things that Cass Tech can clean up, but we know this is the type of team that can overcome a 17-point deficit like that, too. So if you're Rockford, you're feeling good right now, but you got to know that Cass Tech does not quit.
Seth Sendry is back into the ball game. Backed up to their 10. Sendry looking right, got a man. It's a hitch. It's Corey Sadler. Watch out. He may go 30 to the 40, cross the field, and he's down at the 43-yard line. You called for Corey Sadler, and they found him for a big game.
Do it again. I mean, he's been one of the most fun players that I think I've ever called in any sport of all time. And you just see him in space. He breaks that one tackle, and if he stays on his feet here with this little stop, he was going to stop and go.
Yeah.
And he just kind of slips a little bit.
Gain of 33 on the play. Sorry, partner.
No, you're fine. But that's the guy. You know, I get excited when this kid gets the ball in his hands. As a freshman, he was trucking people.
Yes, sir. They'll send Graham high right. Handoff Hendricks up the middle, and he is on his feet with a turn and a twist to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, down the right sideline and inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. And you need a little Sadler to simmer sometimes, and it looks like that recipe is right in Rockford.
Yeah, what do they call it? Trickle-down economics? This is trickle-down football. You give it to Corey Sadler, everybody else gets better somehow. I don't know how, but what a broken tackle right there. Rockford thinks they have him down, but no, that's the not quit we're talking about with Cass Tech.
Hendricks with a 33-yard run. Make it a 43-yard run. Sorry, my math is never good.
Lots of 40-yard plays in this game. A 40-yard interception return,
Yeah.
2 40-yard deep bombs, and then you get that 40-yard run.
Good call. 4 40-yard plays. But Cass has a 40-yard play and a 30-yard play already in this drive, and they're knocking on the door. Their best drive. Handoff up the middle. Watch out. He could go inside the 5. Touchdown Technicians. Carson Lovett, the junior running back, with a burst up the middle and a bang in Rockford. And Cass is on the board on the left side of the state.
Was that his first carry of the game too, Chad? Was it second? Because that big fella, he looks impressive when he gets in the open field. And you just see it right there, that nice little plant the right foot, cut back right up the middle, and nobody's got a chance of catching that young man and tackling him.
19-yard touchdown for the junior Loveland. Lovett, Carson Lovett, 6'1", 190. Extra point by George Sanchez Murillo, and that is good. So the quick answer by the Technicians. 3 plays, 89 yards. It took 30 seconds, and the Technicians are in the end zone just like that.
Told you cannot get comfortable around Cass Tech. They can score in bunches, and there is a lot of time, even before halftime. So I don't expect that to be the last score for the Technicians before the half.
17-7 now. As Cass gets on the board, now it took a minute. I mean, they started the day early, 8:30, had to get out of Detroit, take a bus over to Grand Valley, had a nice little light walk through. You know, you're in unfamiliar territory. You're walking into 10,000 strong. I mean, look at this place. Look at the Technicians out of the PSL Blue, Division I, 2,500 enrollment. Co-ed, of course, notable alums. How about Deion Walker, preseason All-American, first team. He's a 2-time second-team All-SEC performer, a projected first-round pick, and so many out of Cass Tech that have really made the Green Guy alums proud. But look, 3 state titles to their credit. Marvin Rushing, he knows this could be the year. This roster is as talented as they've had at Cass since the 2013 season. I mean, this is their year if you're Marvin Rushing and the guys from Green and White.
Yeah, and it was interesting to talk about the bus ride on the way here. You're thinking a high school bus ride to a big football game. It's going to be a big, rowdy time. No. It's a business trip when we're on the road. Very quiet on the way there. If we win or lose, that dictates the way back.
You bet. So, a 33-yard play, a 43-yard play, and Cass with a 19-yard touchdown. Explosives. That's down to the 1. Great kickoff by George Sanchez Murillo, and the return up the right sideline. And Gavin Rickard is bounced out of bounds. and tackled by Colin Sumter, the sophomore linebacker. So here comes Rockford. Cass is trying to get back in it. They're back in it now.
Yep.
But defensively, I mean, they want to try to get another turnover. They already have one in this game.
Well, they've made a statement on offense, Cass Tech has. They've yet to make one on defense, and this could be the drive if they want to do it.
Daniels, the junior, a guy that knows how to handle this offense despite just being his first year as a full-time starter. There's a dropped ball. Is that behind the line of scrimmage? No, it's not. It's incomplete, but here in those footsteps was Michael DeKuyper. And the technicians just might be renting a little bit of space upstairs for the Rams right now.
Yeah, those are the types of mental mistakes that Cass Tech was making earlier in this game. That should be a completed pass, at least for 3 yards, and potentially he was one-on-one. If he breaks that, it could be a big play. Instead, you're stuck 2nd and 10.
Daniels had started this game 5 for 5. That's his first incompletion.
Don't you hate that that goes on the quarterback?
Yes, sir. Handoff up the middle, stood up after a gain of 1. And that's a heavy hit coming from the safety spot. That's Marvin McCallum, the linebacker, with a little smooch in the gap after the tailback was nailed. The tailback is Madden Warner, who we expected to start stick.
Yeah, you know, I saw a meme earlier this week that it's about time that everybody's standing around on weekends and saying, well, this is a big 3rd down. And it's accurate, Chad. This is a big 3rd down.
Amen. 6:06 to go. In the shotgun, Daniels, right hash. Back to pass, pressure. Polk being held, no call. The pass is incomplete. Oh, that was a hold. And the officials missed it. My goodness, how about the pressure coming? It's incomplete. It's punting time for the Rams.
Hey, sometimes it's better be lucky than good, and on that time they got away with something, but that's okay.
Look at the pressure coming from the big fella. That's Victor Polk. Polk committed to Toledo. So here we go. We do have a punt about to happen. I don't know if we've got a timeout on the field or...
I don't know, but Coach Rushing is up and down the sidelines right now, getting his team fired up. You could tell he feels the momentum shift in this game, and he needs his guys to take advantage. And this is where Cass Tech can do some damage.
Will Sykes is back to return the punt. His heels are resting on the 40-yard line. The punter for Rockford is Isaac Poot. So Poot will punt. Oliver Sweezer is a guy that we expected to see at punter, and now, George, we've got a timeout. There's some funny-looking things out here.
Delay a game.
Delay a game, which, yeah, I mean, they took... I didn't understand that.
You thought it was a timeout.
I mean, they took 60 seconds on the sideline, and, yeah, I think it's a penalty.
Well, now the punt returner's heels stand on the 45-yard line.
And the punt returner is not Corey Sadler.
No, it's Sykes, right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Here comes the punt from the 8. It's Sykes, who's talented in his own right. He'll be driven back to the 35. Makes a move, cuts up the middle, and it's well contained and tackled by number 38. That's Caden Letty. And that's where Cass Tech will start with 5:46 to go until halftime. We'll talk with the head coach Brent Cummings of Rockford at the break. Kennedy Broadwell, who's down in the field, will do that. What do you think of this drive for Cass Tech? Can they continue what we saw on the previous drive with all the big plays?
I mean, you feel the momentum. It's different in this building, right? We talked about the 10,000 people. They were going crazy early, kind of subdued right now. And, you know, that last 3-play touchdown drive will do that to you as a fan. So if you're Cass Tech, you found something. That something was Corey Sadler early, and I'd go back to it.
Yes, sir. All right. It's Sendry back in there from his own 39, Hendricks to his left. 3-step drop, looking right, got a man caught. Puts his foot in the ground and gets a few more yards. Cuts back to the middle of the field. Watch out, he could go inside the 40 to the 30, and he's tripped by the turf monster. But how about the burst by Will Sykes? Here come the technicians, and the big-time burst plays are popping on the left side of the state.
I mean, Will Sykes did his thing here, too, and so did every other wide receiver blocking downfield. You're going to get a couple of them, a couple big blocks right there. And Will Sykes showing why they put him back at punt returner, too, over Corey Sadler.
30-yard pickup on the play. My goodness, a 40-yard pickup on the play. My math's 10 yards off.
Every big play tonight has to be 40 yards, Chad. You know that.
Man, 5 40-yard plays in this game, and the last 4 have been 19 yards or more. Timeout on the field. Rockford wants to talk it over. So do we. We'll send it to a timeout from Rockford. The road crowd on their feet. The green guys from Detroit making some noise on the left side of the state. We're coming back after this. We're the Prep. At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we're your financial guardian angel. We're here to help you achieve your dreams. A new home, a Catholic education, that business you are working to build. We're here to support the goals of your family, your retirement, and the community that surrounds you. We're here to offer your trusted financial services inspired by Catholic values. And like your guardian angel, we'll always be by your side. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Oh yeah, they're revved up in Rockford. Just below 80 degrees right now, sun setting, and the camera glitching, and all kinds of things.
I'm glad the Hawaiian shirts are coming back. Remember in 1999, Hawaiian shirts were all the rage.
Yes, love it. Hawaiian night. Party in the USA here.
Well, the weather's cooperating for that, that's for sure.
So here we go. Cass Tech with the football. They're driving. Big plays. 5 minutes left. Cass down by 10. They trailed 17-0. But they've turned the momentum. Out route, caught, tight end, nowhere. Fine wrap and tackle by the outside linebacker, Isaac Poot, who's been all over the field. Short gain, maybe a gain of 1, 2nd and long.
Yeah, and if you're Rockford, you know, you've been playing pretty much close, tight up, but since you've been doing that later, they've been getting a couple of 40-yard plays. So if I'm Rockford, you're maybe loosening up a bit, and that's where Cass Tech is going to beat you up with the big uglies in the middle.
Cass Tech now outgaining Rockford 153 yards to 121 yards. They've had 2 extra plays than the Rams. We'll have an update from Dearborn. We've got Catholic Central on the road against the Pioneers. CC with high expectations this year out of the Catholic League. Sendry keeps it himself. It was a wise decision. Hendricks got rocked. Sendry went forward. He's got a gain of 9. Make it a gain of 8. He's a yard short of the first down, but this decision was a keen one by the senior quarterback.
Yeah, you nailed it. I mean, he made the right decision because the halfback was about to get blown up if he handed this off. Look at that. But now here, you're talking 4-down territory for Cass Tech, so you wonder how they're going to use this yard. They don't just need to get a yard right now. They can go to the end zone because they know they're going 4-on-4.
Landis with the tackle. 3rd and 2, 3:38 to go. Clock rolling. Sendry from the gun. Hand off Hendricks. Hendricks breaks a tackle. Can he break a second tackle? No. I don't think he got it. It's going to be 4th and about a yard or less. And Marvin rushing with some thoughts. He does have a kicker in George Murillo Sanchez that he claims is the best kicker in the state. This would be a position that you'd put him in. It'd be about a 42-yard field goal. Your thoughts?
I don't think it's happening. I think Coach is going to send this big fella out there, hand it right up the middle, and pound these guys.
All right.
But Rockford, I mean, they've been stout up the middle too, and they've been playing great defensive football. Just team defense for Rockford, being in the right place at the right time. Said there was a big 3rd down early. This is a big 4th down.
Co-offensive coordinators Cash Caldwell along with Dave Malecki.
Ooh, timeout.
And we got a timeout, Cass Tech. We'll take it with them. 2:44 to go. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. This is the Preps coverage of Rockford and Cass Tech. Back after these.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk it. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
So a 4th and short upon us in Rockford. He is Sam Stickday. My name's Chad Bush. Kennedy Broadwell will have the head coach of Rockford at the break. Rockford leading right now 17-7, but it feels a little different right now than that score.
It definitely, the 17-point gap closed quick just after one touchdown. Even though it's still 10 points, it's still two scores, you can feel the momentum on Cass Tech's side.
All right, here we go. Big Jelani Walker, the center, at 5'11", 265 over that ball. Sendry in the gun. Love it, left side. Got the first down or no? No, he did not. Lovett left side was tripped up and short. How about the outside contain? And Lovett just couldn't get beyond it.
Yeah, I don't understand that play call. You just saw Lovett on the last drive, straight up the middle. He's big, he's 6'1". If he just puts his foot down and goes straight instead of trying to reach out and go to the sideline, he gets a first down. But what a job by Rockford. Great contain on the outside.
Luke Ahern with the drive-saving tackle. Rockford gets the ball back with 2:40 left, up by 10.
Huge play for Rockford.
What's
massive.
Motion right to left by the big tight end, Blake Lindsley. Daniels pitch left side. Poot to the 30. Poot cuts back across the 35 to the 36.
Daniels with the pitch to Poot.
Blake Lindsley on that drive. He made that drive. Number 88 held his block the entire way down on that 10-yard run. That was completely made by that tight end. Incredible blocking. Coach is going to put that on tape and send it out.
Coach Brent Cummings couldn't say enough about his tight end, Lindsley.
I could see why.
Division I prospect, guy that he says is as good as a blocker as he is a receiver. There's a throw right side to Kuiper with a move. Makes a man miss, and he's across the 40 to the 43. Short of the first down, gain of about 7. Before he's tackled by number 6, that's Marcus Jennings, the Rover.
And I know missing a tackle isn't good, but that's a good miss because what he did is he forced him back inside where the pursuit's coming from. So if you're going to miss to the outside and force your defender back in.
Clock rolling. We're at 1 minute, 47 seconds left. And Rockford looks content on running this thing out. Will Cass use a timeout? 1:37 to go. Cass has 2 timeouts left. Rockford has 2 timeouts left. And on 3rd down, we'll see what Marvin Rushing does here. He does not use his timeout. Now he does.
Well, we're going to get a player timeout. There's a player injured.
Well, that's
number 56.
It's a big one. That's Howell.
That's the big fella,
that's
too.
The brightest and best in the middle. We hope the big fella's okay. Marvin Rushing going to come out along with the training staff. We'll take a brief timeout, and we'll come back with this big 3rd down play as we hope the health is just fine of the big defensive tackle, Logan Howell. We're back after these.
He just got up.
The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move. And it's out of here. Big third down play coming up with 1:26 to go. 2 timeouts, 3rd and 2. Daniels in the gun. And his running back behind him. And Kobe Belcher. It's Belcher up the left side, and he stood up right at the line. Did he get it? I believe he did. 1st down Rams with 1:14 to go. And we'll see what kind of tempo they decide to go with.
Yeah, you're kind of in a win-win situation right now. You got the clock on your side if you want to run it out. If you want to try to go for it, you're in good field position and good down markers to do it.
Daniels wants to put it in the air. He's been good there today. No, he doesn't. Wants to put it on the ground. at the 45, and he stood up and form tackled at the 47-yard line. That's how you tackle a ball runner. You see that tackle, put that in a video.
The old Tommy Gerhardt stick, lock, and lift, Chad. That's exactly what it is. You stick them, you lock them, and you lift them. And that's what happened on this play. A good scramble by the quarterback. We talked about him running earlier in the game, and we really haven't seen him scramble out of the pocket. But, man, what an open field tackle by Cass Tech.
Alex Graham on the tackle, the Colorado commit.
That would explain it.
That is a penalty on Cass Tech to add on. So now, with a minute 1 left, you've got 2 timeouts. You get a penalty added on. You've got a kicker that can make it from 40. And now Rockford's looking for a little different kind of result on this drive.
You can start to get a little bit greedy here, right? When you're on your half of the field, it's kind of tough what you want to do, because if you make a mistake, give Cass Tech a short field before the end of the half, you ruin everything you did for 2 quarters. But now you're in a good position.
Daniels in the gun. And now Cass Tech wants to talk it over.
Timeout. Cass Tech, 4 seconds.
Well, we look ahead to next week, and we've got a dandy in the LVC. We've got Milford and South Lyon East next week. Again, this is a Thursday, so all the weeks are kind of settled after this. They start to fall into a Friday night. But some exciting matchups here on the prep. We will have PSL coverage throughout the year. We've got some really nice lineups, matchups coming, Stick. This is a big-time year, but this game really sets it off. You had Rockford coming in with all the home momentum. They haven't lost since 2018. 5 straight OK Red titles. And the first time ever that Cass Tech has matched them. Cass Tech feeling so good about themselves coming up, and why shouldn't they? Very talented, very senior-led, and it's been a solid matchup so far.
Yeah, and I love this out of each team, right? Because each team could dodge each other. I don't want to play Cass Tech. I don't want to go to West Side and play Rockford. That's a death sentence to go do that. But you know what? These teams, doesn't matter. Anytime, anywhere, any field, we can play. And that's what you got to love about these 2 programs, and that's why they're successful.
Yeah, pretty cool they agreed to this game. Daniels wants to go for it. He's got a man. Oh, through the arms of Mason Plain. And that was a ball that Daniels put on a dime, and Cass Tech is lucky it's not 24-7.
You know, you got to wonder if he was looking back into the sun or something, because that ball couldn't have been placed any better over the shoulder while he's running. It just goes right through the wickets right here, right through the arms. Like, not even hands, the forearms.
Seen Rockford get behind the Cass Tech defense tonight, and credit some of the calls that Rockford.
Well, that was a nice double move. Yeah. I mean, they got him with the double move on that.
Trips right, hash left, Daniels in the gun. Back to pass. Has time. Out route, incomplete. He was looking for number 4. That's Riley Wells, who has a couple of catches tonight. But it's incomplete. It's out of bounds. It's now 3rd and 10. Look, this is a play where if you're Rockford, you need some yards if you want to give your kicker a chance. They feel good about their kicker from 40 and in.
The kicker's one thing. At minimum, you want this clock to start running again.
Yeah.
Because if you give Cass Tech the ball back with 40 seconds left or something like that, they have the ability to score. We saw it earlier on 3 plays.
And they've got a kicker in their own right.
Yeah. So I would look for, like, maybe a little center screen pass here, or a draw, something like that that's kind of a guaranteed completion.
Motion left to right. Daniels, again, with plenty of time, looking down the middle of the field. Looking left side, got a man, caught to the 10, down to the 5-yard line. A flag route after all kinds of time, and it's completed to DeKuyper, and the Rams are on the move again as DeKuyper gets up Gimby.
And Coach Cummings should be running down the sidelines like Pedro Serrano after a home run after that call. My goodness, I was thinking just get it in play, let's keep the clock, we don't want to give them any. He's thinking, you know what, that kid in the booth doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm a football coach, we go for it out here in Rockford.
43 seconds left, and Rockford looking for more. And, well, I'll tell you what, Stick, this is a big drive. Rockford, it could be worse. Remember, they were inside the 5 before and fumbled.
Yep.
And the second series of the game.
First
series.
Very first.
Game, here they are again in familiar territory. Cass would like nothing more than to force another turnover, but you got to hold them to a field goal if you're Cass Tech right now.
Yeah, that's best case scenario if you're Cass Tech, right? Obviously, a turnover would be a blessing, but, you know, you're going to be realistic in this situation. And, you know, this is a credit to Rockford and how methodical they have been. You know, we discussed they could have used this clock in many different ways. They wanted to kneel on it going into half, happy being up 10. They probably could have done that. But, no, Rockford is here to end this game early and often.
7 of 11 for 149 yards is Rockford's junior quarterback, Daniels, who's had a fine first half of full-time action. We heard about the legs, we heard he's smart, but he can throw a ball too.
Not only throw it, it's accurate, right? A lot of strong arms aren't accurate. He's both.
They send out the 6'7" Lucas pitch at the bottom of your screen, far right. Watch it fade route there. That's where they've got cooking. That's up, and that is nearly intercepted. Out of bounds, incomplete. But they did want to try the 6'7" tall drink of water pitch, and it was nearly picked.
Corey Sadler puts on the safety belt. He's got you. What a great play. Gets inside position. This is where that basketball pays off, but unfortunately he's out of bounds when he lands. But we were talking, you don't want to turn it over, but that's a safe play for Rockford, right?
The penalty not very safe, though. That is going to send him back. And yeah, you're flirting with fire throwing against this secondary this close.
Yeah, but that's one of those balls where either your guy catches it or it's out of bounds, right?
Yeah.
It's a safe.
If it's thrown
it's
right.
a safe touchdown attempt, right? If it's thrown right. If he underthrows that ball, you saw what Corey Sadler was going to do to it.
Two to the right, one to the left. In the gun, Daniels, play action, nowhere to go, being chased by Polk, gonna turn it up, gonna run it. He's to the 10, he's to the 5, he's to the corner, he's to the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
And has a little something to say to C.J. Sadler after the little hit at the goal line. I like this kid.
23-7, the Rams on the run with a statement and a stare down to finish the drive.
And I can't tell you how impressed I am with Rockford. They had, if they would have folded there and Cass Tech would have scored another touchdown, I don't think any of us would have questioned what was going on. But they responded in a big way. And look at this scramble. And this is a fold that we just saw here at the end of the second quarter. In the beginning of the game, he was not scrambling like that.
15-yard scamper for the junior. Daniels fumbled snap, picked up, and nowhere to go. So we'll stay at 23-7. Extra point conversion fails. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with 28 ticks to go. The Rams laying it on them.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut. So the Rams add one on. It was a 10-play drive. It went 78 yards. It lasted 2 minutes and 12 seconds, and it ended with a 15-yard touchdown run by the junior Braden Daniels. Extra point no good. It's 23-10. Rockford over Cass Tech. Kickoff is taken at the 6-yard line. Corey Sadler with it. Sadler is stood up at the 20-yard line, and that's it, and that's all. And we'll see what Cass Tech does with 20 seconds left.
Yeah, you know, now's the question for Cass Tech. Are you going to sit on the ball, or, you know, maybe a couple deep throws, maybe a screen pass to that man right there, get him in space and see what he can do? You at least got to try on this first down and see what happens, and then you can address it from there.
Sendry back in there. We've seen Sendry most of the way. We did see Tabron for a series.
Yeah, Coach Rushing made quick changes today. You know, Sendry was struggling for a couple drives. He switched him out, and then as soon as Tabron was struggling, it was, okay, we're right back to it.
Yep. So 2 to the left, 2 to the right. We'll see what Cass Tech will do here. Hendricks to the left of Sendry in the gun. Got a man, curl route, caught. Sadler throws a man down, stays on his feet, gets the first down and gets out of bounds at the 30. So how about Sadler dealing a blow of his own? Trying to get Daniels back.
He is just so fun to watch, man. You give him the ball in space and something special is going to happen. It may not be a 40-yard run. You may just get like 10, 15 like you do on this one, but look at that. Derrick Henry would be proud.
1 timeout left for Cass Tech. There's just 11 ticks to go, though. Kennedy Broadwell standing by. We'll talk to Rockford head coach Brent Cummings at the break. His team right now with a good size lead at home, and that's a false start by the wide receivers, and that is a couple of bad boo-boos. And it'll back up Cass Tech. And we'll see what they elect to do here.
Cass Tech ending the first half kind of like they started it. Just a bunch of mental mistakes and really just not being engaged in the game.
Yes, sir.
You know, you thought for a minute there that, oh, the Cass Tech monster has been awoken. But Rockford did a great job taking that ball back and running it down the field.
Timeout. The official stop play. Sendry down. Tackle by number 58. That'll be the final timeout taken. Thatcher Wilson with a tackle. One of their leaders up front, 6'2", 200-pound senior. It's a senior-laden team for Rockford.
Yeah, and it's kind of that way for Cass Tech, too. I mean, so that's what makes this a really fun matchup. Not only are they talented players, they're experienced players, and you really wouldn't expect to see these types of mistakes out of guys that have played 3-4 years in the program.
Yes, sir.
But Cass Tech has been fun to watch for several years, and you know, this is a week 1, so I'm sure they'll tighten a lot of things up throughout the season. But Rockford has come out and shown every facet of the game they can dominate.
Yes, sir.
They did it on special teams. They've done it on defense with a pick 6 and big plays on offense. And this quarterback's starting to come alive a little too, Chad.
He is. We thank all 732 fans watching right now on the prep. Cass Tech with one more kick of the cat with 7 seconds to go until the break. 3rd and 4, Sendry. Rolling right, has time, lofts it up, and it's short. And that will take us...
No, 1 second left.
To 4th down.
So that,
and one more heave, perhaps, for the technicians.
Someone's saying clock operator failure. You got to let that second go. No.
Is that Rockford Bob? By the way, we're on the visiting side.
Which is nicer than most of the home sides we get to go to.
I mean, we've been on a home side that's this nice of a press box.
Yeah.
This is like a small college, maybe mid-size division. I mean, it's amazing.
I mean, they're getting more people than a USFL game.
Yeah. 4th down, throw left side. That's Sadler. He's going to run it, and he's going to get taken down at the 35. That'll take us to the half, and that will take us to Kennedy Broadwell momentarily to talk to Brent Cummings. Kennedy standing by. Brent Cummings with all kinds of pride, I can imagine, after this first half that was so productive for him. We'll go down to Kennedy in just a moment.
Yeah, Chris Armani Rose back, too.
Let's go down to Kennedy Broadwell. Kennedy, go ahead.
Hey, you guys, with Coach Cummings now. Coach, up 16 at the half, but you got to know you can't be comfortable with Cass Tech ever. What's the message at the locker room right now?
We were fortunate with some turnovers by them, some mistakes, and we were able to capitalize on that. So it's kudos to our team, but we got definitely have to stay ready and we want to figure some things out on the offensive line, defense, continue to stay disciplined and keep getting after it.
Awesome. I'll let you get to your team. Thanks. All right, back to you guys in the booth.
Awesome. Good stuff, Kennedy. Thanks so much. So 23-7 at the break. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with highlights and more. We're The Prep. Thanks for watching.
We are the MHSAA, a collection of 750 high schools and 750 middle schools, from Temperance to Copper Harbor, from New Buffalo to Alpena. Each year, more than 250,000 students play one of our 28 sports. More than 1.5 million fans attend our postseason games. There are 30,000 coaches and 8,000 officials, not to mention all of the volunteers. The MHSAA believes in the 4 S's. School sports should be safe and kept in the appropriate scope. We believe nothing beats great sportsmanship, and that scholarship in the classroom is more important than excellence on the field or court. Most of all, we believe school sports should be fun. So come out and join us at a game. Support your school, support your community, and come see what the excitement is all about.
From an ordinary idea comes a great journey. It all starts with a simple thought, a vision of something bigger, greater than what already exists. It's that spark that ignites the passion and drive to create something truly amazing. At G-Brand, we understand this journey well. We take pride in the details and perfecting every aspect of the process, regardless of how small or big they may be. Because it's more than just a design or a shirt. It's about outfitting future champions. There's something to be said about a team coming together, each member contributing their unique skills, talents, and ideas. It's that collective effort that takes a simple idea and turns it into something truly great. The process can be excruciating, with countless hours spent tirelessly reviewing every detail. But the end result is pure and so rewarding, knowing that we've created something that will inspire greatness in those who wear it. Whether they come from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether their numbers are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is truly to become one. That's why at G-Brand, we're more than just a clothing company. We're a movement, a community of like-minded individuals who believe in the power of coming together to make a difference. So join us on this journey as we strive to outfit future champions and inspire greatness in all that we do. G-Brand. Now that's game.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Looking right, looking end zone, got a man, caught, touchdown Eagles!
Right there, he explodes off to the outside, and oh my gosh, he's like a horse.
And it's going to be Sadler, going to take off, and they'll never get a Corey up the middle, touchdown technician!
That athleticism, when you unblock, if you don't make that play, it's hard to stop.
a Belleville offense. You got to make those work. Back to pass, looking deep, got a man caught. It's Coach at the 40, to the 30, 10, 5, touchdown. Great job blocking by the entire team. Old-fashioned smash mouth football, Chad.
Everybody else important. My team, man, they played excellent, great. Defense played great. Offense, we got to the shortstop, but we picked it up, you know what I'm saying? So I just thank my team, my coaches for sticking with me and believe me. Good the passes, good the touchdown, and the end zone. Yeah, getting here finding Penny Roberts for this big second half touchdown with the box on the field to do it.
That Colby Reed, they're going back to the end zone, slot right, got a man caught, touchdown Tigers.
You just talk about, again, this doesn't look impressive. Stays in the pocket, takes the hit, and just throws a dime right there. My gosh, that was beautiful.
The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move. And it's out of here.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk it. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
First, life gives us many. From buying your first car or first home to starting a business, Alliance Catholic Credit Union is here for you every step of the way. From checking and savings accounts and youth accounts to auto loans, mortgages, business needs, and financial planning. A full-service financial institution with over 70 years of experience. We're committed to serving your firsts, seconds, 50ths, and every day in between. Alliance Catholic Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
As the voice of Michigan's student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports should be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe that athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe that students in the stands should have fun,
but not take away the focus from the game.
We believe coaches should act like teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and support their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we're your financial guardian angel. We're here to help you achieve your dreams. A new home, a Catholic education, that business you are working to build. We're here to support the goals of your family, your retirement, and the community that surrounds you. We're here to offer your trusted financial services inspired by Catholic values. And like your guardian angel, we'll always be by your side. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move. And it's out of here.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores! Welcome back to the prep. We are live here in Rockford in a big first half for Rockford with big plays. Seems like 40-yard plays were all the rage in the first half. Here you see Rockford taking the lead early with that big tight end, number 88, who's a heck of a blocker too, Lindsey. And then you see a big play to number 0, Curry down the sideline. Cass Tech tried to come back. They put in their freshman quarterback, and he immediately got picked 6 by the guy that's subbing in for Sam Cummings. That is Logan Haglin picking that and returning it to the house. Here's another look at it. Look at these moves on the way down with the big neck roll. I know Chad Bush loves the neck roll. And that's kind of part of how we got to where we're at right now. And then here you see C.J. Sadler at the, I believe this was in the second quarter early, making some plays. And this is really the only drive that Cass Tech could get it going. Number 22 spinning out of a tackle. That's Hendricks. He's had a pretty decent game so far, but Cass Tech was able to score here by an up-the-middle run by number 21, Carson Lovett. That brought the game within 10. And then here, nice jukes back and forth by Will Sykes, getting it down within the 31-yard line about. He was down there, but they were able to get the stop. And here, right before the end of the half, when I was thinking Rockford was going to sit on it, number 3. Chad, you're here. Which one is that? There's two number 3s listed.
Kuiper had the catch, but this was the run. How about this toughness?
And that's what we've seen out of Rockford's quarterback. He wasn't running early, but Braden Daniels has got it going late in this game. And if I'm Cass Tech at halftime, how do you guard that guy? He's making the deep passes. He's making the right reads. And then when you got everybody covered, he's going to run on you.
Daniels have been impressive in this game. 7 of 12 for 150 yards. He's also rushed 7 for 34 and that touchdown. You look on the totals for these teams, 204 yards of total offense in 30 plays for Rockford, 182 for Cass Tech. But some of the things that we don't see that are hidden in there, and the shocker is the time of possession. 10 minutes for Rockford, 25 minutes and 30 seconds for Cass Tech. So the time of possessions have been well imbalanced a bit in this game. But look, Cass has done some things offensively. Most of it was in 2 series.
Yeah, they had that one drive with 3 plays that got them the touchdown. And outside of that, it's been a rough go. You know, you've seen them not control the snap early in the game, then switch to their freshman quarterback, then he throws a pick 6. So you go back to the original starter. They're still trying to find that continuity. But, you know, we did see a missed extra point there right before the end of the half. Will that point loom large in this game? Because it does change the complex of the score.
So Daniels had the scoring opened with a Blake Lindsley touchdown. They took advantage of a blocked punt. And then we had the field goal attempt that was blocked. And then we had a change. And we had all kinds of momentum for Cass Tech. After they trailed 17-0, they would come back and on the board with the Carson Lovett touchdown run of 19 yards. But the Tabron pick 6 to Hagland really changed the momentum. Braden Daniels would cap off the scoring with 28 seconds to go in the half with that 15-yard run. That's where we sit right now. Stick and I will have the second half for you from beautiful Rockford, Michigan in suburban Grand Rapids. 2.5 hours from the Motor D. It felt really close to home for a minute. Cass Tech trying to make it feel a little more cozy in the second half. We'll have action for you coming back right after this on the Prep. Thanks so much for watching on this record-breaking night with numbers. Thanks so much for being a part of it. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like.
And you know what I love? I always love when they put where they're from in the chat. I want to know where you're from. Where are you watching from right now from the Prep? Because, you know we get people from all over the state. Cass Tech alumni is everywhere.
Back after this.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
Cass Tech with some making up to do, down 23-7. Kennedy Broadwell is standing by with the associate head coach, Dave Dawson. Kennedy, take it away.
Coach Dawson, down at the half, tell me about what the vibes are like in the locker room right now and what the conversation revolved around.
We're just telling the guys to calm down. Right now, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We shot ourselves in the foot the whole first half. We're all right. We're down 16 points. We didn't score 16 points before it cast, right? So, again, we just got to calm down, lock in, do our job, and we'll be all right.
Awesome. I'll let you get back to your guys. Thank you. All right, back to you, Chad.
Thanks a lot, Kennedy, and thanks to Coach Dave Dawson for taking the time. Look, Cass Tech deferred to the second half. They will get the football. Any question who's under center in this first drive?
I mean, you would assume that they're going back to Sendry. He kind of calmed it down when he got back in there the second time, but you don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Cass Tech didn't come in with one starter, and I mentioned it earlier in the game. There's that old saying, you got 2 quarterbacks. You don't have one quarterback.
Right.
And you need that one guy you could center your whole offense around. So Sendry will probably get the first snaps, but we don't know.
Impressive numbers in passing for Sendry in the first half. He was 11 of 13 for 103 yards. He did have just the long of 32, but he was accurate if nothing else, and he did kind of have good composure and some poise. But it was the missed snaps of the handles, him not being ready for the snap. Whatever it was, it's hard to judge from here. But there were some things that you feel like they can settle in the second half.
Yeah, you don't know if Coach Rushing pulled him for the entirety of the game or just that series in general anyways to, hey, I want you to stand over here. I want you to watch this series. I want you to kind of get more into the game. But we'll find out here in the second half. And you got a lot of people watching. You got Rockford represented by Landon Fields and a bunch of people from Detroit as well. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for participating, which will be Friday Night Football on a Thursday night.
Thursday night special. So Jack Ahonen to boot it off, number 29 from his own 40. And back deep is Alex Graham for the Technicians, who will take it at the 7. The Colorado commit on the move. Across the 20, lost the football, and out of bounds to the 23. No blood, no harm. It's out of bounds, but that'll send Sendry and this Technician offense on the field.
My goodness, that would have been absolute disaster for Cass Tech to lose that fumble on the kickoff. 4 points of pressure. You cannot keep the ball out there. You got to have it all the time tucked in. 4 points of pressure. They preach it, they preach it, they preach it. But when players get out there on the field, my dad used to say, they carry it like a loaf of bread.
God bless Sam. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. The 2 to the right are tight. Hendricks in the backfield. 3-step drop, out route, caught, and immediately tackled and wrapped up. Like you're taught to do. Good technical effort that time by Ahern, the safety.
Yeah, some good open field tackling right now going on by Rockford. And they've been doing that all game, and to their credit, because we know about the athletes that Cass Tech brings to the table. You get them in space and they break one, they can do it. But Rockford form tackling.
Luke Ahern with the grab. You look at the roster, and there's several multiple numbers. There's 105 kids on the roster for varsity football, so there's a lot of duplicate numbers. 2nd down and 8 for Sendry in this offense. Hand off to Hendricks up the middle, and Baby Corum is stuffed after a gain of maybe 1, and it'll bring up 3rd and long with 11 minutes left in the 3rd.
Yeah, we talked about the size difference up front with Cass Tech and Rockford. Rockford being kind of a smaller, more shifty defensive line, but they have held their own and stuffed that middle. Where Cass Tech has seen success is really getting to the outside, except for that one up the middle for their touchdown, that 19-yard run.
Hagelin with the stop. Hagelin had the touchdown earlier, the pick 6, 42 yards. Again, he's taking over for the injured Samuel Cummings. 3rd and 8, Sendry looking to set up a screen. He's got his man, Alex Graham. Watch out, he could go 40, 50, cuts back to the field, 40, 30, Alex Graham to the 20, 10. They'll never get him. Touchdown, Technicians. Alex Graham with a burst, the future Buffalo with a bang in the second half to start things off right for the kids from Detroit.
And what do you do against a team like Rockford? You use their aggressiveness against them. You know on that 3rd down, they're coming for the quarterback. They want to end that play, and it was a perfect time to call a screen pass. Look at all the linemen that were upfield. And once you get this guy in space, you know he's special. He's very special. And look at those moves. My goodness.
75 yards and a fine block from Will Sykes, blocking downfield to make that burst happen. And Cass Tech with a big statement to start things on their first drive.
Well,
3rd down, Stick.
And that's exactly why. You know, you can never sleep on Cass Tech. Just when you think you have them, they do something like that.
That's a botch, snap, hold, and kick. And the good news is that Rockford also had one of those boo-boos, so nothing lost, nothing gained. We've got a touchdown. We've got a timeout. We've got life in the D. Alex English going all the way. Alex Graham, rather, looking like Alex English back in the Nugget days. How about this run, Stick?
Yeah, that cutback right there is all you need to know. And then anytime big plays happen, you got to give credit to the wide receivers blocking downfield. Without them, big plays don't happen, but my goodness, that was special. Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
So how about the screen call and the timing of that play, Stick, for Cass Tech to make it all work?
Yeah, that's what we were just discussing. You know, you catch them on 3rd down when they're going to be aggressive, and you get all those defensive linemen upfield. Now instead of 11 on 11, you're looking at 11 on like 6.
So it's got this Rockford crowd out of their seats, feeling really good and comfy at halftime. All of a sudden, after those 6 points, they've shook things up. We're back to a 10-point game. Murillo Sanchez's kick goes down to about the 20. There's a flag down, and this thing might be coming back a little further, and the momentum might be just a little bit more.
And if you looked at number 34, right when he caught the ball, he looked to see if his foot was down in the end zone. let the official worry about that. If you're in the end zone, they're going to blow the whistle. Your job's catch the football, run forward. We'll see what the officials come up with here. See, watch. He looks back. Nope, not in the end zone. And then he takes off.
Yeah. Well, it's been a couple times now that Murillo Sanchez has put the ball inside the 5. You don't want to get it inside the goal line. It seems impressive, but the real strategy is to get him inside the 5.
Yeah, he's been kicking perfect all game long.
Yeah, so that's going to back Rockford up inside their 10 at the 8-yard line. Daniels and company on the move. Daniels with an impressive first half in his debut as a starter in a season opener. He did again start 2 games last year when there was an injured quarterback. Full-time JV quarterback last year. Bounced outside, forced outside on his feet, and a healthy gain after there was absolutely nothing there by number 34, and that is the tailback who's got the bulk of the carries tonight, Isaac Poot.
Yeah, he's done a good job, too. He's been doing a good job reading inside and outside, but once again, their strength has come with their running quarterback when they send that lead blocker through or when he's been scrambling.
Second down and 6 after a gain of 4 from the left hash for Daniels. Sharp from the gun. Slot right, caught, short gain, short of the first down. It'll set up 3rd down and mid. It was a hitch route, and it was caught by the tight end.
Yeah, see, that's just a situation like that was a good route, but if he would have pushed that up the field 1 more yard, you got to know where that first down marker is, and that would have been an easy first down. But you saw some good arm strength on that throw.
Yeah.
Really good, really sharp.
That was DeKuyper on the catch. My bad, Mikey DeKuyper. He's had a fine day. So 3rd down. It's the 4th catch of the night for DeKuyper with 9 minutes to go in the 3rd. Cass Tech trying to climb back. They were down 17-0. They've warmed up on the road. Daniels will keep it right side. Daniels close, piling, and he's near the first down marker. He has it, move the chains.
Yeah, the guy at the bottom of the field marks it at the 20-yard line. And that's the play that's been working for him, right? They sent the lead back through. They follow it up with the quarterback. They're going to pick up 2 to 3 yards on that play every single time.
No, they're going to say he's short. No, okay. They're messing with us.
I was going to say, the field judge at the bottom gave us the first down marker.
Yeah, this crew also in the offseason. The sideline crew. It's been a great staff, but they're not as quick down there with the numbers. 2 to the left, handoff. Up the middle, nowhere to go. Gangrene in that middle and stuffed. Logan Howell, I believe, is back in there.
A great discipline by Cass Tech on that. They're kind of running a misdirection play in Cass Tech. Every one of their defenders stayed home, stayed in their lane, and handled their business.
Fernandez in there. So was Anthony Foster. Looks like there's a player down in the field. Is that Summerhour?
Number 2.
Cameron Summerhour, the talented senior linebacker. So we're at Rockford, Michigan. Rockford out of the OK Red, 5-time league champs, 3-time state champions. It's the 3rd largest high school in the state of Michigan. They have 2,600 students nearly in this co-ed public school on this fine left side of the state. You might recall one of their alums, the former Chippewa and the former Rockford Ram, and Joe Staley, 3-time All-Pro, 6-time All-Pro, 3-time All-American. Of course, the former #1 pick by the San Francisco 49ers back in the day. You remember Joe Staley?
Yeah, big player, big fella.
6'9", 6'8", just a beast.
Yeah.
Summerhour is up and walking under his own power off the field. This is a key loss, though, for Cass Tech. They've got a guy they really like in Cam Summerhour, the senior at the will. They got Marvin McCallum, who's in there. And they will check in number 25. That's Gant Fernandez at the linebacker spot. He's just a freshman. So keep an eye on that. So this does set up a 2nd down and 9 and even 8 minutes to go in the 3rd. Cass Tech has scored on their first drive to make this a 10-point game. The Rams of Rockford have led by 17 twice. There's a fake pitch left, middle pitch centered. What is that? And it's a gain of about 2 yards on a funky-looking play that we've got to see again. How about that?
Yeah, number 44 kind of broke that play up, too. He followed it all the way through. But it seems like Rockford went into halftime. They're like, you know what? I think misdirection's going to work. And they're continuing to run these misdirection plays. And I don't think it's working the way they wanted it to. They probably should have just go straight up like they did in the first half and spread it out like they're going to do here.
To Kuiper with a carry, the slot back. 7:22 left. Cass Tech trying to get a stop on a 3rd and 8. Daniels in the gun. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Back to pass. No time, no pressure at all. Throw down the middle of the field, and this is pass interference. They're going to get Cassius Shivers, the Division I prospect, with PI. He was hanging on with that left hand, I think, stick, and he got busted for it.
It's so hard for a defensive back on an underthrown ball like that. The wide receiver trying to work back to the ball, slowing down. You're running full speed down the field. If that ball's thrown over his shoulder, that's no pass interference. But because it was behind him, he had to go through the defender, and you get that action.
I think he was beat. I mean, I think they had, again, all kinds of time. It's surprising a bit that Rockford has repeatedly had their ways and routes. Now, you got to credit offensive coordinator Jason Vanderlaan, the 2-time Harlan Hill winner from Ferris State in his 3rd year, and also that Sean O'Brien, the wide receiver coach. I mean, they've got a creative offense that's spread, and they get defenses kind of out of sorts pretty easily with their route running and the play design.
The route running is what's really been impressive. A lot of double moves, and even their underneath routes, knowing where to line up and space yourself in that zone and just sit down on your route. The quarterback has a lot of options, and like we discussed earlier, even when those options all break down, then he goes to his legs, and he's been effective with that.
Coach Cummings had hinted that last year's team may be a little 60-40 favor pass. This year might be a little more 60-40 run. I mean, it's about what the numbers suggest, but we didn't realize the impact from the pass game that they've had already would be this potent. Here we go. 1st and 10 from their own 32. Rockford on the run. Play action. Daniels in trouble, and down he goes. No, he's on his feet. He stays on his feet, and he throws a pick at the 40. Cass Tech makes it hurt. Picked off. Marcus Jennings, the rover, the nickelback, with a pick, and Cass Tech has all the momentum in Rockford.
Oh, God, the ups and downs of emotion on that one play. No. Yes. No. If you're Rockford. Great play by Cass Tech, and there you go, that momentum-changing play. And, you got to admire the quarterback. He's trying to make a play, but sometimes the best play to make is just throw it out of bounds. That play's over. We'll address it on the next down.
The pressure from Howell and the pick from Marcus Jennings, the junior at 6'2", 183 out of Detroit. And the technicians are on the rip and roar again at the 30. 3 to the right. Sendry will send Alex Graham wide left. Already a 75-yard touchdown in this game. Motion right to left. Sendry back, looking in zone, looking deep, has time. Steps up, going to run it, and he's going to get maybe a yard. Well covered on the back end by the Rams. 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, I think the low snap kind of threw off the entire timing of that play, and Sendry had to keep his eyes down off the field and wasn't able to find any wide receivers open.
So, there you see inside that Cass Tech defensive huddle, and then you see the cramps perhaps on this hot, humid opening night, something that we've seen year after year.
It's just conditioning. I mean, you can play as hard as you want in practice, but once you get in the game, it doesn't matter. It's different.
Yep. And then the turf, so there's all kinds of impacts. Motion left to right, low snap again. Sendry hands, gives. Left side, love it. Already 1 touchdown, and he's got a 1st down here across the 20 down to the 16. Love it on the run, and the junior gallops his way to a 1st down.
Yeah, nice little cut right there, just through the hole, up the center, and that's what the big fella can do. When he gets north and south like that, he's making moves. And a good block there by Evan Gooden up front.
Yeah, Gooden was in a battle all through camp with Josh Paramore for that right tackle job, and that was a real nice block from him. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Cass trying to end this drive with a high five. Lovett stays into the left of Sendry. Sendry's looking in zone, looking right, got a man, incomplete. Right through the wickets of Will Sykes. He was well covered, but that was a catch to be had. Isaac Poot was beat on the out route.
Yeah, we've seen Will Sykes make that catch, and I think if you asked him after the game, he'd tell you he has to absolutely have that. And now we've seen a couple drop balls from each side in this, and both right through the hands of the wide receiver.
Yeah, I'd say I want to retract. Poot was probably not beat on that play. It was decent coverage.
It's good coverage.
Yeah.
It was a great throw.
Sure was. 10-point game. Cass trying to cut it to a score. They are in George Sanchez Murillo field goal range. 2nd and 10. Sendry looking right, screen right. Corey Sadler, center side, slips inside to the 10 to the 9. And it's a gain of 10 on the play. Move the chains. It's a first down for Cass. 1st and goal from the 10.
It looks like they didn't give him the first. Looks like
okay.
Third?
It is third. My, oh boy, tough spot. They put him at the 10, and yeah, 3rd and 1. My bad. Okay. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. They slid out the big number 18, Aaron Graves, who played on the basketball team at 6'5" on the left side.
Fumble.
Fumble, ball on the deck and picked up. Watch out. Here come the Rams the other way. And he's going to get inside the 30, down to the 25. Oh, my, what a play by number 8. That's Cade Friesen, the outside linebacker.
And that's been the story of the game. Cass Tech has had their opportunities, but they've just literally dropped the ball. And on that one, I did not see that coming. I mean, just when you thought Cass Tech had complete control of this game, there's that exchange from the quarterback to the running back. You saw the jerky motion earlier in this game. That time the ball just completely falls on the ground. And normally you want your defender just to fall on it, get the possession. But he had other things in mind when he picked that up.
So both teams have lost a fumble inside the 10-yard line in this game. This one super costly, though, for Cass, who needed to make a score happen, whether it was a field goal. They needed something down there.
And especially after that interception, right? Like, you do your job, you get your interception, and then you hand it over to the offense, and they do that. It's got to be so frustrating for the Cass Tech sideline.
I also want to point out the hustle by Sadler. How about Corey Sadler to make the tackle at the 20-yard line?
Well, you know that guy's a dog, right? Like, he's the definition of dog. He's never going to give up on a play, and he's faster than pretty much everybody on the planet Earth. Yep. So you know he's going to track you down.
No doubt. So there was a penalty called on this play. So it will take Rockford back to the 39-yard line.
I think Rockford's okay with that.
They called a personal foul on it.
That little chuck to the back of Corey Sadler there at the end is probably what they called.
Okay. Trips cluster tight right, and now the officials say, wait a minute, we're not ready to go. We were talking about the post-game plans at, I forgot the joint we went to the other day.
Bob.
Yeah, the Bob, of course. You're headed there afterwards, I hope.
Yeah, we'll see if we can make that happen.
All right. You're spinning, I heard. This is your old digs,
I haven't DJ'd in Grand Rapids in a long time.
Yeah. Throw right side. That's to Kuiper, and he is swallowed up quickly. No, he's not. He spins out of it. Initial hit was made by Derek Jackson, the second. A surefire tackle, but he slipped out of it. It's just a gain of 1. Jackson headed to Kent State.
Logan Howell on the tackle.
Howell also in there. The big fella has been dinged up. He's hobbling around, but this is one of the premier two-way tackles in the game.
Seems to be some confusion on the substitutions coming in for Rockford right now. They may have to burn a timeout. They're getting close to that delay game.
2nd and 10. Handoff and a swallow-up job and a TFL. Taken down to the backfield by Colin Sumter, playing that linebacker spot for the injured Summerhour. And speaking of injuries, we've got, it looks like another cramp, and this is the big Blake Lindsley who scored the game's first touchdown, the tight end.
Yeah, and he's had a big impact on this game. really catching the ball and blocking. His block on that one long 40-yard run was pretty much everything. And you're seeing multiple guys on both sidelines with cramps, too. You got number 7 down here. You got 58 coming off the field right now. So just some hydration, little relaxation. You'll be back on the field in no time.
Brent Cummings, the head coach, in his 5th year, was an assistant for quite a few times at Rockford, was the coach, the strength coach. He was an assistant on that 08 state championship team. Just one loss the last 4 seasons, in each of the last 4 seasons under Cummings. And they've all come in the playoffs. Belding High School grad, a 99. And this man, Brent Cummings, was a pleasure to meet with earlier this week. He's got this program ripping and running. And he's made a statement that this is his side of the state. Don't mess with Rockford.
And I love that. You know, plant your flag. And that's exactly what he's done since he's been here. In Belding, for a small town, it turns out some talent. I know Mike, who does mornings on B90, B something up here.
Yeah, B-roll.
No, it's one of the biggest country stations in the nation. He's from Belding. My old boss in Detroit is from Belding. So Belding pumps him out, man.
Doesn't Belding host the Gus Macker also?
Oh, gosh.
Maybe. I think
Gus
so.
Macker.
Yeah.
Did you ever play in that when you were young?
No, I was bad at basketball.
Yeah, but everybody played in the Gus Macker, even if you were bad.
Nah, I was doing something else. I don't know. Hanging out in Mount Pleasant, probably at Central Michigan or something with Paul Gregorich. I don't know. All right, 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 3:51 to go, 3rd and 11 for the Rockford Rams. And a big down for Cass Tech, who gave up the pick after they were fumble return after they were inside the 10. Daniels with a snap, going to take it himself, going to try the middle, and he's got about 4, but not enough. A stand by the Cass Technician defense. And the Rams with a choice now with a 4th and long with 3:30 to go in the 3rd.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to go for it. You're kind of in that no man's land territory. You know, if you kick it into the end zone, you're only gaining 15 yards on the play. It's tricky, though. This is a long 4th down to go.
Going for it all the way. Of course, a chance of a pooch here. But, yeah, why not go for it? The Rams have been good on 3rd down in this game. We'll see how they are on 4th down. 4th down in this game, they're 0 of 1. Daniels looking left, pressure, steps up, and he will not get the 1st down. He is stopped short at the 31-yard line. Turnover on downs. And Cass Tech stands up after the fumble, and how about the hustle by Corey Sadler?
I mean, he saved points for his team just single-handedly. That's where effort will get you every single time. You like the quarterback pulling it down, not making the same mistake he made earlier. But shout out to Darius Summers, son of Dr. Darius of Detroit radio fame.
Ah, yes.
Doctor! It's my guy.
Yes, indeed.
He's here.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
saw
on
him?
the sideline, yep.
All right. Well, he'd like nothing more than to see his green guys rally. And they've got enough time to do so. But time's starting to wind down, under 3 minutes now in the 3rd. 23-13. Sendry going to look left side, looking for Graham, and he overshot him. He had LeBlanc beat on that left sideline, but Sendry a little too overzealous.
You know, and you're a little shocked that Rockford could be beat on anything on that first play, coming off some big plays that was going on. You would feel Rockford's going to be erring on the side of cushion right now, right? Just keep everything in front of us, and they beat them down the sideline on that. It was just a poor throw.
2nd down and 10.
Alex Graham out there, it looks like he's cramping a little. He's stretching, kicking his leg up.
Track star to go with being a football star. Came back from IMG where he transferred a year ago. And looking for a big year. Sendry looking for some yards. Hands off to Hendricks. Hendricks will try the left side. Has some running room. Has the 1st down. Has more. Outside the numbers and pushed out at the 47-yard line. But how about a gain of 16 yards and a 1st down for Baby Corum? And here comes Cass.
Yeah, his low center of gravity, he's just a special running back, you know, and that's what you love about football, too. You see a guy like that out there, you're like, he's a little too small. He's going to get beat up by the big guy. No, sir. His quickness, his agility, and his vision separate him.
And when we talked to Dave Dawson, associate head coach and offensive line coach earlier this week, he said, you know what, we've got speed on offense, and we got some power. We want our guys to be vicious, violent.
He probably said, I would have bought stock in the word violence before that interview if I knew what was going to happen.
And we've seen some violent blocking in the last few drives. Sendry looking right, got a slot. Lefty threw it away. Picked off. Going the other way. Cade Friesen again on his feet inside the 10. Touchdown, Rockford. Friesen with back-to-back forced turnovers, and this time he says, I'm going all the way. Touchdown, Rockford.
I'll tell you what, when Cass Tech looks back on this film, they're going to be kicking themselves for how many times they've shot themselves in the foot this game. They have handed one of the better teams in the state multiple possessions and now multiple points on defense. It's so tough to beat. Corey Sadler tried to close that one out. He didn't finish the tackle on that play, and next thing you know, big number 8 rumbling to the end zone.
We've heard about this defense. They run multiple sets. It's very chaotic. It's very confusing. And it's led by one of the best defensive coordinators in this state. And what a job on that series by the Rockford defense. You saw Friesen go up, come back, little zone blitz, extra point up and good by Ahonen. And the score now is Rockford 30, Cass Tech 13 with 2 minutes to go in the third. We'll step aside. We're back to beautiful Rockford in a moment. This is the Prep.
At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we're your financial guardian angel. We're here to help you achieve your dreams. A new home, a Catholic education, that business you are working to build. We're here to support the goals of your family, your retirement, and the community that surrounds you. We're here to offer your trusted financial services inspired by Catholic values. And like your guardian angel, we'll always be by your side. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
So the Rams capitalize with a pick six, their second of the night. This time it's one of their top defensive players in Friesen. And lo and behold, just like that, Cass Tech turnover turned into points the other way. Spin out, has some running room, watch out. This is Corey Sadler, and they will never get Corey Sadler. 20, 10, 5, are there any flags?
Yes.
Touchdown, if it stands, there is a flag back at midfield, and this thing might be coming back. The officials will talk, but how about it? Corey Sadler.
That's heartbreaking for Corey Sadler.
Well, in Cass, it'd be an answer. And we'll see. Now, just because, here's another look.
There he breaks the huddle, or the scrum, if you want to call it, and then nobody's catching Corey Sadler. I mean, once he gets out in the open, well, not before the end zone.
We'll see what the officials come up with. This is a long chat. So it might be it happened somewhere along the midway point, and so you move it back from that.
I mean, the
where
official,
the incident occurred.
I saw him throw the flag.
Here's another look.
See if we get maybe they're calling that a block in the back at some point.
Yeah, could be.
A hold. He's calling a hold.
It is indeed a hold after that long conference. Could have had a cup of coffee and a donut from Dutch Girls.
And the Cass Tech crowd gives them the old Bronx jeer.
The Green guys have brought the faithful from Detroit and have added to this record crowd of 10,000 fans tonight in Rockford. What a beautiful setting and scene as the sun is set. 70 comfortable, cool, windy degrees. Just feels right now. But not for Marvin Rushing after that kickoff return for a touchdown's called back.
Just once again, you know, Cass Tech shooting themselves in the foot. They make big plays, then they do something that negates the big play. You get a big interception, then you fumble the ball. You know, you get a big stop, then you shank the punt.
Yeah.
There's just so many things that have happened for Cass Tech this game that they'll correct by the end of the season.
Sure.
But you don't want to see these warts this early.
No. And it won't get any easier next week. They'll play one of the top teams out of the state of Ohio. There's a out route caught by Sadler, stays on his feet, fights forward, and gets up near the 45-yard line. Not enough for a first down, but close to it before he's wrestled to the ground.
Yeah, he was looking for the face mask on that play as well. Looks like they are giving him the first down and moving the chains.
Of course, I've been wrong all night on those. Why change now?
At least you're consistent.
I know.
That's all we can ask of anybody in life.
That's right. We'll have the G of the game afterwards. Kennedy Broadwell will bring us that. She'll also have a hit for us here shortly at the end of the third quarter. Glad you're with us. My name's Chad Bush alongside Sam Stick Day. Donald Tabron, the freshman, has checked in, the top-rated player in the freshman class in the state of Michigan. Hands off to Hendricks. Hendricks breaks a tackle. Hendricks gets up to the 46-yard line, and a good gain of about 9.5 on first down.
Man, Cass Tech, you'd think coming into the game they have an abundance of talent at quarterback, right? Like that was not going to be the issue. The only issue is who we need to pick out of this talented crew. Now you're going into game 2. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Nobody's proven themselves this game. This young man's going to get a chance to do it right here, come back in one of the biggest games in Cass Tech history, but we'll see.
Tabron already multiple Power 4 offers. He'll send 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Hendricks stays on his left. Motion right to left. Hand off Hendricks again, why not? But he's strung out behind the line of scrimmage. And that's the backer, Logan Haglund, who's been very good tonight. Haglund already with a pick 6.
Yeah, if you were worried about what Logan Haglund's going to bring in the middle of that defense, I think all your questions have been answered. It's almost the exact opposite of Cass Tech at quarterback, right? You're like, oh, we don't know what we're going to get out of middle linebacker this year. Well, now they know. If he can do this against this team, Imagine what he's going to do the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, it's a third down and short. Time winding down in the third. 12 seconds left. It's the freshman Tabron still in the gun. This should be the final play of the third quarter. Cass needs instant points. Tabron looking left. Got a man? No. Alex dropped it. And the third quarter will expire. It'll be 4th and short. When we come back to Rockford, Michigan, suburb of Grand Rapids, beautiful night for football. Thanks for hanging with us on this great night, the opening night for the prep. Thanks for watching. Back after these.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, hit me up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Marvin Rushing, the head coach, 93 grad. Went to Eastern Michigan, played linebacker, played for Coach Cooper. Notable seasons, well, look, how about last year? He took Cass in 2022, well, 2 years back. Regional championship, semifinal loss, the eventual state champion of Belleville. And Rushing trying to get his guys over the hump. He is an assistant coach at Cass for some time. He's in his 3rd year now. And look, he's an emotional coach. He's very meticulous at what he does.
Yep.
And he's got maybe the best group of talent here that they've had at Cass since 2013.
Yeah, and this game absolutely has to be driving him insane. Because, like you said, they have the talent, but the mistakes. It doesn't matter how much talent you have if you can't play fundamental football.
Yep.
If you're jumping off sides, if you're fumbling, if you're throwing interceptions. And honestly, if you're giving up 2 scores off turnovers, like not the offense coming on the field and scoring, but direct scores off turnovers, it's tough to overcome.
You bet. All right, here we go. Start of the fourth quarter. This is a 4th down play. It's 4th and 1. Tabron stays in. The freshman with Hendricks to his left. 4 wide receivers. Play action. Tabron gets to his man in the flat, and he's flattened. Oh, they set him up dirty. Nowhere to go. The dump pass to number 16. That is Brian Stovall, the H-back. and he was swallowed up quickly. Look at this play stick.
Yeah, love the play, and it doesn't matter. It's enough for a first down, so I'm sure he'll take that hit all day long as they get that first down. But, woo, it looked like he was just shy of that 45-yard line. But
Luke Ahern.
Ahern has laid the lumber today, and he's made some incredible open field tackles.
Cass Tech on the road in Canton, Ohio. Canton McKinley High School, a place we've all been to. McKinley, Canton McKinley. Remember that, Evan? Wasn't that fun? So that's where Cass is off to next week. No vacation for them. Tabron looking down the middle of the field, looking deep, and that is overshot. It was double coverage on Sadler, the ultimate sign of respect.
And almost every wide receiver for Cass Tech is throwing up their hands like, I was open. All of them were open if you ask them. And he threw to the one guy that was double covered. But when you got a Corey Sadler, I mean, who are you going to look for first? I get it, but it's funny to see three wide receivers with their arms in the air.
Chase pitch in coverage that time. One of the defenders in coverage. As you mentioned, the other fellow over there was the tall, lanky safety in Luke Ahern. So, with the clock stopped and a second down, and this is really crunch time for Cass Tech, who trails by 17 points, 3 scores, early fourth quarter. Tabron on in relief of the starter Seth Sendry. We have not seen Corey Sadler at quarterback. Tabron looking right, sharp throw. Alex dropped it again. That's a curl route you got to catch. Tabron showing why he's highly touted as a tosser.
And that's his third drop of the game and third wide open drop.
Yeah.
And that's one of the highest touted athletes on this team. Like you said, coming back from IMG, he was supposed to play a big part, but he has dropped some big plays.
A 75-yard touchdown catch earlier in this game. But that time, English, and the last couple times, it's been tough to come by. Third down and long. Ucello's Restaurante, we thank for the food here before the ball game. One of Austin Sonnenberg's favorites.
I didn't get it before the ball game, but I ate all the leftovers at halftime, and it was delicious.
You? Well, good.
I love that sweet pasta sauce. Like, it's so good.
Well, maybe we can get some after the ball game. Do they serve that at the Bob?
I don't know.
Third and long, Tabron for the left hash. Looking right, looking down the middle of the field. Got a man wide open. He's got him at the 15-yard line. This time he holds on. How about it? The rookie with a soft toss catch. Jalen Howell with a snatch for the 5'9" senior to move those chains.
Yeah, not only a great throw, a great look at pressure, too. He knew the pressure was barreling down on him. Look at, he sees it. He knows he's going to take a hit, and he still delivers a dime out there.
Tabron with a 29-yard pass completion and pitch and catch.
That gives the coach a little more confidence in him to open up the playbook.
Tabron 2 of 6 for 35 yards and an interception. Right hash, 11:07 to go. Cass needs points. Hendricks has it. Baby Corn with a stutter step and a fall forward and a gain of about 3 or 4.
This is where Cass Tech has had some issues holding onto the ball once they get inside this red zone.
Gain of 3 on the play. Cass will check out Will Sykes in the lineup. 11 wins last year for Rockford, 7 wins last year for Cass Tech. Both teams are 3-time state champions. There you see, look at that party club up there. I want to get there. The Rainbow Club, or whatever that's called. 1 to the right, 2 to the left. 2 running backs in the pro set between Sendry. Make it Tabron, and we've got a flag from the back and maybe too much time for the rookie.
Yep, delay a game. Oh, man. Cass Tech just continues to shoot themselves in the foot over very correctable errors. And honestly, a lot of them have fallen on the quarterback play today. Those plays, that's on the quarterback. The bad handoffs are on the quarterback. Obviously, the interceptions are on the quarterback.
Yeah.
They need to figure out this quarterback position. And you're looking at a guy who took them almost to the state champion last year that's not playing quarterback.
Right. Cass Tech has outgained Rockford in this game, 345 yards to 226 yards.
Bad snap.
Bad snap. Cass falls on it, but it's going to cost him about 5 yards. Back to the 21-yard line they fall. With 10 minutes to go, it's going to set up a 3rd and forever.
I mean, this is almost getting insane. Like Cass Tech, they keep getting close, and it's like, nah, we're good. We're going to do an offsides. Nah, we're good. We're going to do a bad snap. This is not what we've seen out of Cass Tech the past 3 years.
No, sir. Utica Eisenhower leads Oxford 26-7. That's into the 4th quarter. First meeting all time between Cass Tech and Rockford, and it's gone the way of the Rams. They're plus 17 with 9.5 to go, and a big 3rd and 17 coming up. Crowd on their feet. Tabron back, in trouble, rolls out of the trouble, steps up, throws in zone, got a man, and it's incomplete. They had Sadler and Sykes in the same area, and both guys nearly came up with it somehow.
Yeah, you could tell that ball was intended for Corey Sadler, who was open in the back of the end zone, but the defender following number 5 Sykes, I believe it was number 34, was able to look back at the last minute and swat that ball away. That's incredible defense. He's covering 2 wide receivers out there. That's not his man, and he's able to cut that ball off.
That's Isaac Poot, the safety, coming over. There is a man down for Cass Tech, and we hope he's okay. Marvin rushing over to attend to him. So is Dave Dawson. We'll step aside on this beautiful, calm Thursday night in the opening night of football 2024. You're watching the Preps coverage of Prime Time Kickoff. Right now, the Rams having their way up 17.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Let's go down on the field to Kennedy Broadwell with her sideline report. Kennedy?
Sure, you guys. We told you about the technicians' three-headed monster, or potential to have a three-headed monster in that quarterback room earlier, but the Rams have a three-headed monster of their own, and those aren't my words. Those are Coach Cummings' words, and that's between himself, the HC, his OC, and his DC, and these guys have been working together for a long time. They've worked under iconic coaches in the past. I'm going to read this off so I don't mess it up. We're starting at the helm. Cummings was an assistant from 2008 to 2019 before taking over as head coach. His OC, Jason Vanderlaan, joined him in 2021, and the defensive coordinator, Randy Vanderveen, on staff at Rockford since I was born in 1998 and moved into his current position in 2005. Guys?
How about it? Three-headed monster. You know what? A lot of respect Brent Cummings has for his 2 assistants and both his coordinators. Meanwhile, we've got a kick that was low, and we've got a roughing the kicker. So Cass Tech missed the field goal badly with George Sanchez Murillo, but they're rewarded with the roughing the kicker.
And that's really the first big mistake that Rockford has made because they missed that kick. This game's essentially over. We can probably agree with that, right?
Yep.
Now they score within the next 2 to 3 plays. You're looking at a 10-point game with about 8 minutes left, and we've seen Cass Tech overcome that several times.
We have. So we talk about Brent Cummings and his staff, and they do reward. He talks a lot about the head coach at Newaygo right now, Ralph Munger, who was the head coach here for quite a long time.
Up by Howard City.
Yeah, by Howard City. You know that area.
That's where I used to live when I was on this side of the state.
Right on. So here we go.
So this will put the ball on the 11-yard line. They'll keep Tabron in the game. Double tight. Handoff. Left side Hendricks has a alley. Has a hole. Cuts back. And he's down to the 6-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 5 on first down.
And I can appreciate Cass Tech running the ball here, but time is of the essence. And, you know, it's kind of taken them some time to get plays in here and there. So every 30 seconds that runs off on every play is more just increasing pressure.
And when you have a rookie quarterback, freshman quarterback, it's already going to be a challenge to get communication and to get expediting this offense. So,
but
yeah, you're right.
The most important thing is to put the ball in the end zone. If it takes 2 minutes, it takes 2 minutes then, I guess.
Yep. The 2 4-stars are wide right and or left. Graham and Sadler. Tabron with Hendricks behind him on a 2nd and 6. Fakes the fade, comes back. Tabron wants to go the other way, and he throws it away. How about avoiding a sack and a late flag from the backside? And I think we got another personal foul on Rockford here.
I don't know if it's on Rockford or Cass Tech. It looks like to be on Cass Tech.
Yeah.
Because he was looking at Corey Sadler when he threw that flag. I'm not sure what it was about.
I thought they got freezing here.
I think it may have been a taunting.
Well, late wrap up there, I guess nothing there.
It was in the middle of the field. We're not going to see it on that angle.
Yeah, the officials on the far side talking with Brent Cummings, the head coach. Some scores to pass along. There's some other east side, west side games. Orchard Lake St. Mary's is hosting Portage Northern. And they lead at 21-6. We'll have the Eaglets in week 3 as they take on De La Salle. Notre Dame with a 49-14 win over Detroit Central, another PSL team. Utica with a 31-7 win over Grosse Pointe North. Catholic Central with a big win over Dearborn. Final score 56-12. So Justin Sasante's boys laying one on the Pioneers, making a statement in week 1. Another flag is going to fly. I mean, what's going on?
I don't know if that's on Rockford's coach for arguing or being on the field.
Right.
Because he walked right to the Rockford coach and threw that in the air.
I mean, the explanation over there, this is like...
Yeah, these referees have definitely huddled up quite a bit this evening.
What's your call?
Is it a delay of game on the coach?
Oh, they declined it. I don't know what's going on.
It'll be 3rd down. Disregard the 2nd flag.
Okay, disregard the flag. And
it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down. Okay. So no flag. We waved off the flag, and even though they threw a couple, they threw another flag.
A secondary flag just to wave off.
I mean, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
Football.
3rd and 6. The Technicians can get a first down and not score a touchdown. Cluster to the right. C.J. Sadler slot left. Tabron, the freshman, in the gun. Looking left, looking right. Over the middle, behind Sadler, incomplete. Well covered out there by the Rockford Rams. In coverage was number 42. That's Ryan Carey, the 10th grader, the only 10th grader on the roster.
And, you know, that's an impressive feat when you got 103 people on the roster.
Yeah.
that's a pretty good indication that you can play ball. Corey Sadler just trying to work his way across the front there to get that first down. So now you got a 4th and 6. Like you said, you can still pick up the first down. But they're going to kick the field goal.
Yeah, they're going to settle. Hey, look, you need 3 scores. One of those could be a field goal, and why not? So it'll be a field goal attempt from the left hash for George Sanchez Murillo. It'll be a 24-yard attempt. Catches Shivers to snap it. Sendry to hold it. The kick's up, and the kick is good. So it's now a 10-point game with 8:03 to go. 14-point game. 30-16. Look, they're back within a couple scores.
If you're Cass Tech, you needed points in the drive, you got them.
Yeah, now the key is to stop them, and that's kind of been part of the problem all day long. Is not so much that Rockford has been dominating on offense, but they've been kind of just doing what they want in a methodical way, right? They haven't been exploding up and down the field and putting up 400 yards, but they've been matriculating the ball up and down the field and controlling the possessions. Now, you look at time of possession. It looks to be about even, but I feel like Rockford's held on to this ball a lot more.
Follow us on social media. Gridiron Game Day, the Prep. We're on TikTok, Facebook, the Gram, Instagram, YouTube. Follow us. If you'd also like to join our sponsorship team or have any comments, please do. info@theprepsports.com. Please subscribe. It's free on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. We've got record numbers tonight, not just in the stands, but also in our views. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hope you'll stay with us.
1,000 strong, Chad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you share it. And make sure you subscribe to the Prep. And then comment in the chat. Let us know what you think, where you're from, who you think is going to win. Can Cass Tech come back? Alex, you want to throw up a poll in the chat, too? We could do that.
Yeah, let's get who's out there. We're looking at Johnny M., Dono, Daniel, Jameson, Jordan Kelly, Ricky Vaughn.
Hi.
That kick's going to go into the end zone. Is that Ricky Vaughn, the former pitcher of the Cleveland Indians?
You know, I just bought a Ricky Vaughn jersey signed by Charlie Sheen.
No way.
Yeah, we were doing, I believe it was the Kirk Gibson golf outing. No, the Darren McCarty golf outing at Links and Novi.
You've been on all these celebrity outings, by the way, all summer long.
It's been a great, I got to golf with Megatron, man. Like me, Megatron, Braylon Edwards, and Rob Sims.
Oh, dude.
Dream, like if I was talking to childhood me and was like, hey, in a couple years, this is going to be golfing with, I'd pinch myself. But it was
Never mind, Darren McCarty's in your group.
Yeah, Darren's just the homie.
No big deal.
Yeah, Darren's just the homie.
Yeah, I mean, no biggie.
No, he's
Good
a great
stuff.
guy and a great teammate, Darren McCarty.
Yeah, for sure. He can hit the ball pretty far, I've heard.
He's an incredible golfer.
That's
Incredible. He shot one
All those
under,
hockey guys.
one under at Oakhurst with me.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Daniels is the quarterback. Fine performance by Daniels in his debut. Pitch left side. Watch out. Has the 30 and a shoulder down on Shivers across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And a big gain on first down. Move the chains for Rockford.
The forearm shivers? Is that what you want to call it?
Yeah.
I mean, you love that. That's how you finish a run, right? You don't want to just give up on the play, stand up, I'm stepping out of bounds. No, put that shoulder down. Make the defense feel you.
They're going to say he stepped out of bounds. And he'll check out as well. He is Isaac Poot. And so it'll be a second down and mid from their own 26 for Rockford as we're just under 8 minutes. Cass Tech down 2 touchdowns. And a big defensive set for them here. That's trouble in the backfield. Daniels gets out of it, breaks a tackle, stays on his feet, has a first down and more. And Daniels showing some strength and some vision and some determination. Move the chains.
That play is just kind of like this whole game in one play, right? Rockford just making that extra effort and Cass Tech just not being able to get it done when they need to, because that would have been a huge stop, help them get the ball back. But here we go, another first down, more time running off the clock, and it's starting to get uncomfortable for the boys in green.
You got it. Gain of 7 on the play. Daniels now 11 of 53 on the ground, averaging 5 yards a carry, long of 15. Handoff right side up to the 39-yard line before the tackle is made by number 20. That's McCallum. Marvin McCallum, the senior linebacker at 5'10", 185 pounds.
Yeah, and this is what Rockford's happy doing right now, 4 yards in a cloud of dust. That's just what you want to do, just pound this ball, eat that clock.
Second and mid, clock is a-running. We're under 7 minutes. Rockford taking their time out of the huddle.
Yeah, they're in no rush, nor should they be.
Madden Warner checks in at the tailback spot. Daniels tries to draw him off sides, but the clock drains, and that's what he wants on a 2nd and 6. Takes it again, left side, barrels his way forward before he's tackled for a gain of 5, near a first down, just short. It'll be 3rd and a half yard from the 44-yard line.
Yeah, if I'm Rockford's coach, the only thing I'm preaching right now is 0 turnovers. 0 turnovers. Hold on to the ball, protect that ball. That is the only way we can fumble this game right now.
Turnovers have been a theme tonight. Cass has thrown a couple pick six. They've had a fumble that went back 65 yards. Wasn't a touchdown, but a big impactful play.
Yeah, and that was after their big impactful play where they got interception and returned it inside the 20.
Yep. Daniels taking his time as we near the 5:45 mark, and we've got a false start up front. And
that's a big play.
It is. Stops the clock, moves it back. 3rd and 6 all of a sudden.
Yeah, 3rd and 1. All you need is that 1 yard. Now you get 3 more downs. You get another 2 or 3 minutes off the clock. Now you may need to pass this ball. If it's incomplete, you stop the clock. What are you doing? I mean, we've seen the Rockford coach show that he's not afraid.
Yeah, he's not as conservative as we thought. That's
Nope.
for sure, especially in the pass game.
Oh.
That's a slow snap, and it's pounced on, and that may change his mindset moving forward. So the Rams are going backwards. 2 straight plays, -5 and -6. It's punting time, and Cass Tech's going to get this thing back with plenty of time to go and all 3 timeouts.
And a small thing, but an important thing. Number 58 lost his helmet. That's an equipment timeout. So even though he fell on the ball and this should be a running clock, you got a little time to spare while he was running off the field.
They are still rolling that clock. And a 4th and 15, I don't know. I don't think they gave it to him. So this will set up a big return. Cass Tech has had some solid returns in this game.
Who did they elect to put back? Because we've seen 3 different people. We've seen Will Sykes
Alex
back.
Graham.
We've seen
Yeah.
Corey Sadler, and they're deciding to throw Alex Graham back there, who we've seen had trouble catching some balls today.
Yep. The track star, though, with some breakaway speed. He did have the 75-yard touchdown, and now we finally have a timeout after very valuable seconds ran off. We'll step aside in Rockford. Thanks for watching on the Preps opening night coverage on Prime Time Live. We're back after this.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
Oh, the rainbow deck going off up there, getting us ready for the bob. That's the place to be up there. This 10,000 crowd strong, watching Cass Tech trying to come back. Graham will take it at the 25. Graham, the track star, already a 75-yard score in this game, will scoot his way up to the 37-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 11 on the return, and here comes Cass Tech on offense with about 4:24 to go and all 3 timeouts. Down 2 scores.
And we've seen Cass Tech score on 3 plays today. What was it, a 42-yard pass, a 30-yard run, and the next
75.
thing you know, the next thing you know, a 19-yard run up the middle. So you know they got the firepower. If they get a touchdown here quickly, it gets very, very interesting. That's why that penalty on 3rd and 1 for Rockford is so massive.
Yep. It'll be Mumford in week 3 with the first league game for Cass Tech. These 2 teams, their first matchup all time in football. Tabron, the freshman, stays in for Cass. Tabron looking deep, double move, and that is incomplete. Out of bounds, well covered. The middle of the field was wide open, but all eyes were on it. Alex Graham there.
Yeah, you almost feel that if Isaac Poot would have slowed down and tried to just tap his toes, he could have caught that interception in bounds, but he just can't help himself. Look at, just out of bounds.
More cramps. This time it's a Rockford Ram.
Yeah, you don't mind it on an incomplete pass. If that was a running play and you get a cramp, you drag yourself off the field so they don't call timeout.
Again, stick with us next week. We'll have soccer coverage on Tuesday. It'll be De La Salle visiting Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And we'll have that matchup on Tuesday night.
from Molesky Field, and football next week, Friday night. South Lyon East will bring in their conference rival Milford. The Mavericks in the house. Stick and I will have coverage of that at 6:45. And we may have another game in the works. We're not going to put the cat out of the bag yet, but let's just say it would be a dandy between a couple of teams that are league rivals in the OAA. But now and here we've got Cass Tech. What do they need to do, Stick? They've got 61 yards to go.
I mean, the same thing you asked me the question in the first half. Number one, Corey Sadler. That's what you need to do. Get it to him in space down here at the bottom of the screen.
Sadler, a bit of a decoy there. This pass down the seam is dropped. Well covered, knocked away by Chase Pitch. They were shooting for number 8, Jalen Howell, who thought he had it, but dropped it late.
Once again, a play that Cass Tech normally makes that they just haven't been able to do tonight for whatever reason. You know, whether it's the travel, whether it's the first game of the season, whether it's nerves playing in front of all these people, just can't make those normal plays that Cass Tech normally does.
The ball a bit underthrown. You get the feeling if that thing's a bit deeper. Corey Sadler, a decoy on that play. We'll see if they try to go to him here. Maybe a double pass, a little trickery, something. Give him the ball in space, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but this is the first Cass Tech game we've called in 3 years to where he hasn't been the feature.
That's well said. He will be featured on this play. He has the ball. He has a first down. He has more. Cuts across the field inside the 50 down to the 46-yard line. And just like that, it's a Sadler gain of 17. Move the chains and move the momentum the way of the Green Guys.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I mean, they can do that all game long because it's not about the how long the pass is. It's just get it in his hand where he can take on 3 or 4 people, and that's a fair matchup for him.
And you got to be creative with that.
Yeah.
Because Rockford, let's tip our cap to them. They've been pretty good when he has been a target. There's a flag down. Alex Graham has it. It's a short gain, maybe even a loss. But let's see what this flag is all about.
Is it roughing the passer? It was right by the quarterback.
I think it is. That looks like the early
Well, I didn't
indication.
see the quarterback hit the ground. Maybe he hit him in the helmet.
Here's another look at it, Stick. Yeah.
I mean, he hit him. Maybe he drove him to the ground after that.
A little flag happy here in the second half. They are going to move this thing up, it looks like. Yeah. 15-yard penalty. It was a chop. Hit him low. Anyway, Cass Tech takes advantage.
And honestly, that's the best thing that can happen to Cass Tech. 15 yards while the clock is stopped. That's a gift.
All 3 timeouts. 3:38 to go. 1st and 10 from the 32 for the Technicians of Cass Tech. Representing the Detroit Public School League tonight in Rockford. And trying to make a minor miracle happen. They've trailed by 17 twice. They've cut it down to 10 once. And they've got it to 14 right now. Timeout on the field. We'll step aside. We're coming back to Rockford for the final 3.5 on this beautiful night. Thanks again for participating, watching, like, follow, subscribe, and get at us in that chat on our YouTube. Three and a half left. Chad Bush and Sam Stick Day with you. Kennedy Broadwell also on the field. She'll have our G of the game after this one's decided. And right now, Cass Tech trying to make more of a game of this. Sendry back in the ball game. Sendry looking for the end zone. Got a man. Sadler. Touchdown, Technicians. Oh, they threw it up. Sendry put it in the arms of the All-American. And the Technicians are within a score from tying this thing up.
You throw the ball to Corey Sadler, good things happen. That's all you can say. You get that young man involved in ball games, and he will make big plays at all times. That drive started with a nice little 14, 15-yard catch on the outside, and here you stretch the defense. I was wondering when they were going to take advantage of that one-on-one coverage, and they finally did it with about 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
32-yard touchdown pass from Seth Sedry into the arms of C.J. Sadler, his 9th catch of the night. He's got 124 yards now. George Murillo-Sanchez extra point, and it is good.
What a hold.
I mean, he knocked it into Granville, but it took a minute to get it down.
That was a huge point, too. He misses that. This whole complexion changes of this game. But now that you're Rockford, you got 3 minutes left. You got that 3-minute offense in your bag that you can run the ball out. That's what's going to have to happen. You cannot make mistakes like you did on the last drive, but here you get a good look at Corey Sadler, just shifty, start and go. Nobody's going to catch that young man.
Yes, sir. The double move, and the technicians on the move. Sadler starting to feel it. And look, 3:20 left, all 3 timeouts. I mean, all the momentum for Cass Tech, but Rockford, we'll see how they do. This is a senior-laden team. They've been here before. Haven't been in a lot of close games, by the way. They won by an average of 23 points last year a game. This may be unfamiliar territory for them.
But that's why you put these games on the schedule, right? You know, you get these tough games out of the way early. Tom Izzo famous for that at Michigan State basketball. Like, listen, we're going to go play North Carolina on a freighter in the middle of the ocean just to get our team ready for the postseason.
Literally.
No, it happened.
30-23, the Rockford Rams, 11 wins the last 3 years, and they have not lost in this building since 2018 in this beautiful field. And hey, look, they're looking to put down a patented Rockford drive right here to end this thing.
And you know what I love about high school football? You can actually execute an onside kick, and you may get it. Because they took that out of the NFL. They stole that from us, Chad. So at least we get an exciting play here.
But let's be honest, there should be no onside kick here. I mean, this is one you boot away. 3:20 to go, all 3 timeouts. I mean, I don't know. I think you play the field position game and you trust your D, but we shall see. It looks like it's lined up for an onside kick. I don't think it's happening. It's a pooch. Yeah, it's a short pooch, and it's going to bounce to the 23, to the 30, and down to the 32. And so that's where Rockford will start. Again, they have all 3 of their timeouts. They're trying to run clock. Their offense has been shut down. I mean, in this second half, really. They have had the touchdown that they defensively, but the offense has not scored a touchdown in the second half.
Well, it seems like they kind of changed their offensive strategy here in the second half. Remember, like the first half, they were going straight at Cass Tech. Then they started running a lot of misdirection, and Cass Tech was covering it up.
Yep.
Shout out to Troy Cronk in the chat wanting a shout-out.
What up, Troy? So Rockford from their own 32-yard line, 3:16 to go. They've got 1 timeout left. Cass Tech with all 3. Cass has been down by 17 points twice. Daniels dancing around and nowhere to go. Looked discombobulated, and Cass Tech looks motivated. And Howell, look at Howell, Jalen Howell, just dancing on that turf, stomping.
That young man has been fired up. He's been the only one locked in since the beginning of this game. Yep. You know, I even see people in the chat questioning, wake up, wake up, wake up. But that young man woke up this morning and chose violence.
He did. Clock running, 2:40 to go. A choice not to take a timeout by Marvin Rushing.
And, with Rockford, you want to milk the clock, but you also don't want to take yourself out of rhythm. And sometimes you're just standing back there waiting. Yep.
Daniels will hand off. Daniels has it off to his runner, and he is tackled and forced out of bounds. But they're going to say run that clock. The first contact was in bounds. Madden Warner's out of bounds, forced out by Cassius Shivers and Cameron Summerhour.
Well, now here you go. You got 3rd down.
And 11. 2:03 to go. All 3 timeouts. Again, Cass electing not to take a timeout here.
And I'm okay with that with Cass because you could score in a minute if you have to, right?
Yeah. Yep, and they might have to. So, comes down to this. We'll see what Rockford does. How conservative will they be?
Cass Tech is packing the line of scrimmage.
Under center we see
Play action. He's going to put it up. Daniels looking to put in a dagger. Throws it up in the air, and we've got an incomplete pass. The clock stops. There's no flag, and Cass Tech really starting to feel a little bit of life with 2 minutes left.
And that's really the first play you can say discipline, right? That was a disciplined defense play for Cass Tech. They had everybody near the line of scrimmage. You could sell out to the run, but they sent 3 wide receivers out, even one on a little wheel route, and they were all covered because everybody played their position. That is Cass Tech football.
Here we go. Alex English, the All-American candidate, will back his heels up inside the 35. Rockford will have to get this thing off. And they'll have to be careful, although I believe the return will be set up. Isaac Poot will boot it. Already a 75-yard touchdown today for English, the transfer from IMG in Florida. Committed to Colorado. Poot gets it off. It's a low wobbler and a good opportunity for Graham. Graham has it up the middle. Graham to the right side. Graham on his feet across to the 50. Stays on his feet. Helmet falls off, and therefore he is down at the 50-yard line.
But they're going to tack on a face mask to this, another 15 yards.
Ooh.
That's why the helmet came off.
Did they throw the flag?
Yeah, it's right there at the official's feet.
Indeed they did. This should put it at the 35-yard line. We'll wait for the official word, but yeah, here's the replay, and here's the result.
All right.
22.
Yep. Just ripped the helmet off the back of his head.
That's Liam Fitzpatrick. And so they're going to move this thing to the 35-yard line.
You called overtime, Chad. You told the staff, be prepared. And here we are, staring it dead in the face.
Alex Graham, not Alex English. I keep thinking back to the former scoring champion of the Denver Nuggets from the 80s for some weird reason.
He was a heck of a ball player.
He was. Seth Sendry. Hendricks to his right. Crowd on their feet in Rockford. Some folks went to the parking lot. They're back in. Back to pass over the middle. Got a man caught. Corey Sadler to the 20. Corey Sadler down to the 15-yard line. Corey Sadler with a 20-yard play with 1:10 to go. Here come the Green Guys. On the move. All 3 timeouts.
You just go with what works, right? Corey Sadler got you back into this game. He saved a touchdown on defense and tracking down a guy.
60 seconds left. Hold on for dear life. Hendricks, hole up the middle. Hendricks dragging a defender. He gets down to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 7. The clock rolling, 47 seconds left. Marvin Rushing burns one of his 3 timeouts here.
Ooh, Cass Tech. This is why you never count these boys out. It's unbelievable how fast they can get back in a game and how fast things can change.
How about the counter, Trey, and how about the blocking up front? Khalif Canty Jr. with a turn and burn at 6'5", 308 from that left tackle position. When you can move and you can pull like that, I mean, that's some serious sass coming out of that big nasty.
Yeah, it definitely helps, and especially when you got a little running back like that, can hide behind him too. That definitely, it really confuses the defense when he pops out from one side or another. The Cass crowd is getting into it. There's our boy right there, big number 56, Logan Howell. He's been locked in all game long. He's coming over to fire up the fans.
Look at the folks from CT that have brought it. Haven't left. They're in it. They're feeling it. Stand up, green and white. All right, here we go. Seth Sendry is in. He sends 3 to the right. Far right, he sends Jalen Martin. Slot left, Corey Sadler. Hendricks to his left. 47 seconds left. 2nd and 4. Sendry to the end zone. Got a man off the fingertips of the H-back who was wide open in the name of Jalen Howell. And it's incomplete. Clock stops 3rd and 4 with all 2 timeouts remaining.
They had the right play call. Just once again, the execution was not there for Cass Tech. But you got 2 more shots at the end zone right here. A little bit of pressure on the quarterback that may have forced him to throw that a little bit earlier than he wanted.
So Sendry to the sidelines, gets the call. And here we go.
3rd and 4 with 43 ticks left. Cass Tech down by a touchdown. They trailed by 17 in the second half. 3rd and 4 from the 8. Sadler gets the pitch back. Sadler looks back. Sadler looks in zone, and it is incomplete. Oh, they nearly threw a pick. It's 4th and 4, and this is the ball game here coming up.
I mean, Rockford literally just had this game in the palm of their hands and put it on the grass. You know, we've been talking about that little specialty play with Corey Sadler. It's a great call. Sadler's a quarterback from last year, but that is just a poor pass. That is a bad read and a poor pass. My goodness.
We did see that play last year, and remember it worked.
Yep.
Sadler threw it down to Seth Sendry, and Sendry scored with that nice little juke at the 5. But well covered by Rockford. Give their credit to the defense. Very disciplined.
Yeah, it seemed like they were prepared for it. Maybe that's because Cass Tech put it on tape last year, and it's like, okay, guys, when we see Sadler get the ball in this motion, it's probably going to be this play. So credit to the coaching if that's how it came to be, because you're right. They played great defense.
So 3rd down conversion. Cass is 5 of 15 in this game at 3rd downs. Rockford 5 of 11. This is 4th down, where they're 2 of 3 tonight. So this is the ball game coming up. Cass Tech, can they make the return? Can they make the fight from Detroit stand up?
Now, Cass Tech can get a 1st down.
Right.
There's a couple yards between them and what is that? Where's the 1st down marker? At about the 4?
Yeah, 4th and 4, so they have to get to the 4. You're right.
Yep.
We're about the 3. So here we go. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Keep an eye on Sadler.
He's no longer down at the bottom of your screen. They moved him to a different position.
Yep. Timeout Marvin Rushing. He will burn his final timeout with 37 seconds to go. We'll step aside. We're back in a moment for the final play of the ball game. You're watching the Preps coverage of Cass Tech and Rockford on opening night.
Your Catholic faith, it's at the core of who you are, what you do, and the decisions you make. At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we make your faith and finances work together. From home needs to business needs, from school to retirement, we've got the financial well-being of our Catholic community covered. Visit us today and see how your faith and finances can work together. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, both these teams agreed to this game in the offseason, and I think they did themselves a favor. I think they did all of us a favor.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I mean, thank you to Rockford. What great hospitality here. I mean, we've had great hospitality. We've got a comeback from Cass. Can they complete it here? 4th and 4. Sendry in the gun. Hendricks to his left. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Graham far right. Sendry looking right, looking on the slant. Incomplete. Incomplete. Rockford's going to hold on and win this game. It was a slant route, and it's off the hands of Jalen Howell. And this ball game is over. Rockford is going to hold on at home.
Yeah, just a pass a little bit on the back shoulder and unable to come down with it. I'd like to get a look at the rest of the wide receivers on this route. Yeah, just behind him, and it looked like Corey Sadler was about to be wide open. That ball may have even been to Corey Sadler.
Yeah.
It's just he got in the way. Alex, do we have a better overhead view of that so we can get a look at everybody? Because I really want to see what happened there. But what an incredible win by Rockford. I mean, say what you want. Cass Tech shot themselves in the foot all game long, but Rockford took advantage of those opportunities. They cashed in on those opportunities, and they will be going home tonight. And there's going to be a massive party somewhere in Rockford.
Let's find it.
It's going to be a good time.
All right. Well, this has been a battle. Both teams have learned a ton from this. But we've seen some fine defensive plays, and in the end, it's a Rockford stand-up on 4th down. And they'll take a knee, and this night will be over. Both teams will take a hug, and the first meeting all time is a dandy, something they might want to consider sometime down the road.
How about kick off the season with this matchup every single year and alternate where you're playing? Because this was amazing. The atmosphere, the talent on the field, the way both teams played hard till the end. Cass Tech, you know they're not going anywhere. This may be one of those good losses where you can propel from it and learn from it and look back and be like, if we didn't do A, B, and C, we could have dominated this game.
No doubt. We'll step aside. Our G of the game coming up next. Rockford wins it 30-23 and a dandy and a banger on the west side of the state. Thanks for watching. G of the game is next on the other side of this with Kennedy Broadwell right after these.
Today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
This ball game is over. Rockford wins it by 7. It's time to meet our G of the game, a defensive player, Kennedy Broadwell, standing by with a senior standout.
Yes, standing by Cade Friesen, our very first G of the game presented by G Brand USA. 10,000 fans here tonight. How did that help this performance?
I mean, when we play home, we always show out, and it's always an amazing experience to play in front of our entire community. It amps us up every single game we play home, so it was amazing.
Pick six fumble recovery, first game of the year. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great. It was amazing. It was awesome. I'm so happy to do it with these dudes right here. It's a great team.
This team has not witnessed a loss at a home game ever. Is that a big motivator for you guys when you play at home?
I think so, for sure. I mean, we got targets in our back every week we play someone. So, I mean, it's just the feeling we got, and we got adversity every single week. So we push through it and we win.
It wasn't a comfortable game there at the end, but Rockford continued not to play conservatively this entire game. What does that mean to you that your coaches have that level of confidence in this squad?
I mean, it's just faith in us. Like, the coaches all love each other. They're connected together. They know what's going on. The players trust them. I mean, that's how it goes. I mean, that's how we win. So,
awesome. Congratulations. Our first G of the game.
Watch out, Kennedy. They're fired up.
Kennedy gets trampled.
Yeah, stay on your feet, girl. Great job. Kennedy Broadwell, excellent job all night.
Oh, look at him running to the fans. This is what you love, right?
Yeah. This is a big moment. How about Cade Friesen? I mean, we talked about the 2 turnovers, the timeliness of them. This kid's a beast. And I mean, he nearly had 2 touchdowns, one on a fumble and one on a pick, but both were momentum-saving, changing plays.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We talked about Cass Tech giving the opportunities away, but that's only because Rockford snatched them up when they were right in front of them. And, you know, you cannot speak highly enough about just how well Rockford played this entire game. You know, the Rockford won this game in the first half, right? They kind of got beat in the second half, but because they were so dominant from the absolute jump to the end, it coast them through the game. And like we said earlier, they played all facets of the game. Their special teams look good. Their defense looks solid. And their quarterback answered a lot of questions that even you and I had coming into this game. Okay, we've heard this kid's got some legs on him. We heard he can run the offense, but what can he really do? Well, we learned what he can really do. He can really make the right decisions at the right time.
Here's some of the highlights of this one. This was a big play by Mr. Alex Graham, going the distance, 75 yards in this scamper. It got Cass Tech believing that they could make a move. And then how about this play, the defensive play, the pick, and then the drive, and then the turnover. And there's Friesen, the reason for the season in this night with one of his fumble return.
And you got to be happy for him because you know he saw nothing but daylight ahead of him. He thought that was going to be the touchdown, but no, we'll give it back to you. Go get your pick six, break the Corey Sadler tackle, and go get those points.
Yeah, broke a tackle on his way to pay dirt. And here we go. Next play, how about it? The Cass Tech technicians, of course they weren't done. You just got to go to Corey. Good things happen.
And I think that's the biggest mistake Cass Tech made this game. We mentioned it during the broadcast. This is the first game in 3 years we've called for Cass Tech that Corey Sadler has not been the focal piece. And I know you got number 7 Alex Graham back, and I know he's an all-state track guy, but this is the all-state football guy that's been doing it for your program. And you saw at the end of the game when they started going to number 1, guess who got back in the game?
Yep, and shout out to Chase Pitch with that good coverage in that final play as well. It fell incomplete on 4th down, and this ball game ends here tonight. We'll come back and put this baby to bed from Rockford. Thanks so much for watching. We're not done yet. More to come. A preview of next week's game and much, much more from Rockford, Michigan, on the beautiful left side of the state of Michigan. Glad to be here. Thanks for being a good host, Rockford. We appreciate it. We're back after these.
Everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
Oh, yeah, the postgame party just about to begin here in Rockford.
Look at that. Everybody's got their cell phone lights on.
Yeah, good kumbaya for this school, the 3rd largest school in enrollment in the state of Michigan. 10,000 fans strong tonight, and they saw a dandy that at times looked like it might get into a blowout twice. It was a 17-point lead for Rockford, the home team. How about some credit for Cass Tech and what they were able to do to roar back in this game?
Listen, they shot themselves in the foot, and they'd bandage it up and get back out there and do some good things. But then, unfortunately, too many issues early in the game cost them late in the game, and they could never recover from really what happened in that first half.
30-23, Rockford wins it tonight. We're back next week with at least one game. We will have coverage of South Lyon East hosting Milford, maybe another game too.
It's at South Lyon?
It is. It's at South Lyon East. And not too far from you.
No, I'll do the after party at my place.
Why not?
Well,
I would
there we
love
go.
to have that.
Yeah, Alex Westfall likes it.
Now we're talking. What a great crew we've had here tonight. We want to thank all the folks that made this broadcast possible. And we got a list of folks that I'm going to get to because, man, this was a great crew. And we had a ton of fun with them. And some folks from the west side of the state that popped in this booth and it took over. We appreciate our friends from the left side of the state doing great things on our crew here tonight. And want to thank Alex Westfall, your executive producer, Evan Westfall on replay, Matt Zangus making his prep debut on graphics. Well done, young man. Sam Fisher on audio. Andrew Holt, one of our left side acquisitions. I think we're going to sign him. We've got Kyle Buchanan on camera 2. Mike Reeder also doing a great job from the left side of the stage. Shout out to both our guys, Mike and Andrew Holt. Chris Armani Rose doing his magic from the field. Number 111 was number 1 on the field, doing great stuff from the field. Sam Stick Day on color. Kennedy Broadwell on sidelines. Pat Bush on stats. Austin Sonnenberg on stats. And Jade, our on-the-field coordinator. What a great, talented crew tonight. Thanks to all of you for record-breaking views, record-breaking live views, and we thank you so much. Once again, your final score tonight, 30-23, Rockford holds on and takes care of Cass Tech, which entered inside the 10-yard line in the final seconds, and they come away, does Rockford, with a 7-point win. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in tonight from Rockford and the prep and our double dip. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you next Tuesday as St. Mary's and De La Salle will play a game on the pitch from Molesky Field. Thanks again. This one's over from Rockford. Thanks to the great folks at Rockford for being great, accommodating fans and host. My name's Chad Bush. Have a great night, everybody. Rockford wins it 30-23 over Cass Tech. Talk to you next week.